Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another 42 Level 1. I'm one of your hosts, Alistair Kennedy, and here with me, as always, the former Twilight Princess of all games, the current Twilight Princess of YouTube, the former CEO of Xbox, the man of many names, but we just call him one, Andy.
Saturday Rocket here, as always. Again, confused by Ali's t-shirt.
Yeah, it's confusing because I've got headphones on, I've got these.
He's not listening to me. He's took his headphones off. Like, I can do this too.
I don't listen to you with my headphones on.
That's very fair.
It confused my son earlier. Like, there's probably cry marks all over it because he's full of the cold. And as you can probably hear from a bit of my voice, which might go halfway through the show, yay, says Andy, I have had the cold for the past like 4 or 5 days. And no, it's not the vids, it's not the CVID. Obviously, I'm sensible. I do take precautions and I wear a mask, but you can never be too sure. So I took a COVID test and negatory. However, like, it's fine for me. Like, I'm just a wee bit like, ugh. But for Leo being his first proper cold, it's killing him, as you can imagine, because he hates being snotty and everything. I don't think he hates being snotty. I just hate he hates his blocked nose. He really doesn't like his face being wiped. Like, Lexi was clean. She would always do that with her hands when she'd finished eating when she was wee, for you to clean them. Like, she didn't like stuff being on her fingers. See, Leo's like, the fuck away from it. I might eat that later. Like, it's fun. But yes, we're back for another show. Apologies, we didn't make Friday. It was due to work issues. Andy got locked in his shop or something crazy like that.
Did I get locked in the shop? Just the alarm was still set.
Was the shop door locked?
Yeah, but I had the key.
So you were
I wasn't
locked.
in.
You were. I never said locked in. I said you were locked in your shop. So I was right in the first place. I'd appreciate the less of the insubordination and the absolute cheek coming from your vocal cords right now. Andy was locked in his shop, and I can't remember what was up with me. Nothing. I just don't do shows by myself anymore. There was a time, there was a place, but just tired. So anyway, we're back. We are here to talk about a few things. Many news things has been happening this week as well, Andy. Well, since last Tuesday now, because we missed Friday. But we'll do as we always do. We'll work backwards until we get bored. And I know that's not the professional way of doing it, but if you listen to this show, you'll know we're the exact opposite of professional. We've also played some... Andy, I played 7 games tonight, and you'll find out why later on.
7 games?
7
Oh
games
my God.
that I have
Okay.
never played before.
I also played 7 games.
Yeah, but I played them all tonight. Last...
My 7 games, I played them mostly over my 2 days off, like yesterday, the day before.
Oh.
And I played one tonight. And all of these games, I had only played one of them before.
Cool. Awesome.
Two.
Mine are all the same genre, so mine isn't as exciting. Mine's is just a reading down the list. But the big game, the biggest game on everybody's lips, from wannabe pilots to Top Gun pioneers, Flight Sim is finally here, and we'll talk about that a bit later. Me and Andy's impressions, because I played it last week, and Andy got a chance to get to grips with the cockpit tonight, and Andy loves a good cockpit if you ask anybody. So, before we dive into all the gaming goodness, let's talk some news, Andy. There's big stories, huge stories, breaking news as we speak. I'm joking. There's some good stories. What have we got?
There's a couple of things. The that game Humankind, like, I don't know if you've seen this, but that is coming to Game Pass on day 1.
Yeah, that's interesting, because is that not kind of like a Civ kind of game, like a sort of
It's kind of like Civ. You start off at like the beginning of human civilization, as far as I can tell, and then you have to bring yourself all the way up to like the space age and like, launch a rocket and all that sort of shit, which seems very similar to Civ, to be honest.
Very similar.
But like it looks good, so I don't know. I think the difference is that all your guys, all your tribes are kind of to try to do the same thing, and obviously with the Civ, it's like you're playing as one civilization against different ones. So like you've got Romans against like Greeks and that sort of stuff. So I think this is just all like general humans, and they've all got the same sort of goals and ideals.
Well, that sounds like a perfect world if everyone can work together. So it's complete fantasy then.
No, I'm pretty sure there's wars and shit in it as well, I would imagine. Otherwise the game would be probably quite boring.
Nah. Well, who would have known that our space race only occurred when the billionaires were going to be taxed and they decided to all buy space rockets so they could do their banking in space? Which is what I
Yep.
think the idea
There are
behind
no laws up here.
the laws. I'll keep my money in a treasure chest in space and just go up and get it when I need it. And I think Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and Richard Branson, that's what they're flying off to do, is bank their money on the moon, the first bank of the moon.
I mean, they might do that. Like it's like what is it? International waters.
Yeah.
If you go out to international waters, like a lot of laws don't apply out there.
Yep.
So yeah, I
Piracy.
don't know how space works for that. Like
Well,
space
I
might
don't
be
think
the same.
I don't think there is space laws at the moment. But like
There's gonna be space
gonna be
laws soon.
space laws. By the time we're on our deathbed, there'll be space laws. But like
Yeah.
it's just funny the fact that they're all good space. But here's my thing: like billionaires shouldn't be allowed. Like when there's people like thinking about the human element again, when there's people starving and can't afford clean water in America. Like I can't remember the name of the city. Apologies, but there's places that can't have water, and you're spending your money on a fantasy project zooming to the moon. There's the fucking deep rooted problems in humanity, man.
Yeah, do you know? Well, I mean, humanity's got probably bigger problems than that. But like, I mean, the other climate change shit just now that's going on.
We're having good
We
summers.
do. Well, the weather is very extreme one way or the other. But the way that
we're not
things are,
built for
the
it.
way that
Look at
things
this.
are going, yeah, the way that things are going in like 50 to 100 years time, like it's going to be much worse. Like you're going to
Yeah.
get the extreme snows and extreme rain storms and extreme hot summers. It's going to be weird. Like they're going to need to think about it's because there's ozone layer and shit. They're going to need to think about like recolonizing other planets. So yeah, they should 100% be doing this. I don't know if it should necessarily be Elon Musk and fucking Jeff Bezos and all these guys, but like
That's what
as
they're doing. They
the-
want to be the first real estate guy on another planet.
they do, yeah, because they know there's going to be fucking loads of money there in the future. Like maybe not like in 10, 20 years time, but like in
100.
300 years time,
Yeah.
that's where the money's going to be. And okay, those guys won't be around anymore, but they can then have been the pioneers and they'll be remembered forever and all this. And they'll have I don't know, a statue on the moon or whatever. But they
An
are
Amazon
right.
drop point
They are
money.
right to do it, but I like I mean, and I would.
And if you are watching this on the moon,
based,
hit subscribe. Tell your friends.
like,
Give us a like as well. Leave a comment below. We might not see it, but our
I mean-
great grandkids might go, cool, guy I was related to made this. Hi, Igor143, which is probably what they're going to be named in that stage. How's your flying car and your hoverboard that I've dreamed of since the 80s?
yeah, the with the climate change stuff, like
We'll have blown ourselves
they-
up by then.
They well, maybe they need to be thinking about like looking at going to other planets, and they should have probably not stopped thinking about that. To be honest, from the 60s, 70s, when
When they went
when
to
they
the moon.
were like, oh, let's go to the moon, and then they just stopped there. Like, okay, that's it. We've been nothing exciting enough there.
We'll build
Fuck
a
it.
space station or two.
Yeah, when they should have really, if they'd planned ahead a little bit and thought about global warming back then.
But hey, we've got the
Then-
S21, like, and we've got the iPhone 12. Who needs space travel? Like, yeah, things were invested wrong. Anyway, let's move off like our begrudgingness upon technology and where we should be. Humankind coming soon. I believe it's Game Pass PC, as far as I remember.
Game Pass PC only, not
Makes
on
sense.
Xbox.
It's a point and click.
Yeah. I would probably not recommend playing those type of games on Xbox, to be honest.
Although Jurassic
Um,
World Evolution is fine.
Plays fine, yeah.
Oh, breaking news. I forgot Fraser posted this. We'll put this up right now, Andy.
Oh my god.
Where's the news? Here we go. I'll put it in here. Paste. We have got a casting, Andy, on one of my most anticipated movies. So the top was
Yes.
Jason Momoa. I was all for that. Jason Momoa is the man. But I would say potentially just as good. Not as good in the recent Suicide Squad movie. Idris Elba has been cast to play Knuckles in the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. Andy, what do you think of that? An English
I think
Knuckles.
it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, but will he have an English accent?
Yes, he's only got
Maybe,
one
maybe
accent.
not.
He's not got a deep arsenal of voices. Everything I've seen him in has been gruff Cockney. Everything
is he
from
not
Fast
done-
and the
is he
Furious to Luther. It's Cockney.
Have you not done American accents before?
Not that I've seen. I could be wrong. I've not watched. I'm not his biggest fan. I think he's okay, but everything I've seen him
Yeah, I
in,
mean, Knuckles isn't a kid anyway, and he's from not this planet, so it doesn't really matter what his
all right,
accent
Sonic,
is.
mate.
I think that it's an interesting casting choice, and it makes sense because he's going to play. He's going to be the straight
Yes.
man going
Yeah,
up against Sonic's
Well,
wacky
he's-
comedy nonsense.
Jason Momoa's got that sort of gruff, kind of exotic accent, which I know he's from. Is it Samoa? Is he from Samoa, New Zealand?
I think
I
so.
it's
Something
Samoa.
like that, yeah.
He would have been brilliant. It's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not faulting him. He's been cast for a reason. I'm looking forward to this movie. Great. There could have been worse people cast. I just hope he's got a wee bit of a different accent. Anyway,
I'm
that
not
was
sure
the breaking news.
Jason Momoa is from Samoa. Where is he from?
Jason Momoa from Samoa. Big Jason Samoa.
He
New
he
Zealand?
is from America. He's from America.
Is he not? He's got a background in something. Momoa. Oh shush, Sasha.
He was born in Honolulu in Hawaii. So
Hawaii. There you go. There you go.
he
born-
has a native
Native
Hawaiian
American.
ancestry.
Yeah, I see that. No, that's cool. No, Jason Momoa just. I thought it was Jason Momoa from Samoa. That'd been awesome. He looks. Like, do you know why? Because he's got a look of Roman Reigns. He looks a bit like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, he does a wee bit. He's got cool fucking hair as well.
Yeah. He's older than us as well, and he's got like much better hairlines than us.
Also got a lot more money than us. So-
Yeah, hair plugs. Do you know he's the perfect age as well, Andy?
To play Knuckles.
No. Do you know what age Jason Momoa is?
Oh, is he 42?
He is.
Nice.
He was 42 in the 1st of August, so many happy
So happy
returns.
birthday, Jason
Happy
Momoa.
birthday. Jason Momoa, not from Samoa. Happy birthday.
Yes.
He's cool. as that.
Okay, moving on. Yeah. But he's not playing Knuckles. It is Idris Elba. Okay, so I call him Idris.
I tell a lie. I've heard Idris Elba in, I think it was a Wiley song, doing a sort of almost Jamaican style accent.
Okay.
Because he was like, I came to rap at no man thing. It's kind of almost London rap as well, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. I'm more than happy with Ben, what's his name, Ben Schwartz, that does
Yeah.
Sonic. He's fantastic. He's fantastic.
And
John
Tails will
Ralphio.
get. Tails will probably get
A
somebody
9-year-old
younger.
boy. Yep.
I think, to play
Do you know who would be
Maybe.
good as Tails? Here's my my fantasy cast for Tails. Tom Holland.
No, he's told.
Nope, his voice is perfect.
Do you know I would cast? Anakin Skywalker.
Who's about
Big
40
number one.
himself?
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd's a big 40-year-old man now. The last I seen him, he was like, he had powers. What was he in? Was it Heroes? He was in something, and he had a
Was he
power.
Heroes now? What
He
does
was
Jake
in
Lloyd
something.
look like now?
He's put on the weight.
Oh yeah, he looks like a yeah. I would cross the road if I saw Jake Lloyd. Like,
Would you? Oh,
it's
plus
right,
it's Darth Vader. No, I would. Tom Holland's got a voice that would do absolutely.
he's got a young voice, yeah.
Yep. Tom
Or they
Holland
could
would
just
do.
cast somebody from like The Simpsons or something like that. I'm sure they could get somebody.
Do you know what
from them.
a female voice actor could play Tails as well?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no issue with that.
Yeah.
Like Zendaya or something, because Zendaya did Lola Bunny in Space Jam 2. She could easily be Tails. Absolutely.
Okay, and that'll be the next casting announcement for
Tails,
them
I'd
now.
imagine,
Cast
yeah.
Knuckles, you get Tails within.
I thought we'd get
a
Tails
week or
for-
two, I would imagine.
Wait, is Tails not cast? Tails had voice lines in
Is
the first
Tails
movie.
cast?
Well, he had voice lines in the first movie. Yes, at the very
Oh,
end.
he did. He had one line, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm coming, Sonic.
Okay. Yeah, and it sounded fine. So, who's playing the Tails? you can check that.
Tails Sonic movie. Well, to be fair, it's been a girl the past few times. It was Amy Pallant in Sonic X and Colleen Os. It's some Irish name, I think, that I cannot pronounce. Sasha.
O'Shaughnessy.
Oh, that's jeez, oh, very well done. It's her. It's her
You
that's
just look up.
it's her that's playing Tails in Sonic 2, and she played Tails in Sonic
Oh, cool.
Boom. So yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so it's Tails' voice
She's
actress
good.
then. Oh,
Yeah,
makes sense.
cool.
Okay, in televisions, we like Amico console has been delayed again.
You can see our coverage for it right here in this channel, one of our more popular videos in the past few months. We also get featured
Yeah, but
in television's own info blast sort of dev diary thing, which was
yeah,
cool.
yeah, I like that, and like we had some good positive things to say about the Amico. Like it looks
Listen,
good.
there's some things that
It
interest
looks
me,
fun.
but I don't
Yeah.
think it's for me.
It's just too expensive. They in television has put out a couple of videos in the last few weeks. So they put out the first video they put out was like them pressing all the games, like
Yeah.
the physical games coming out, and I'm like, oh, these look nice,
Do you
like
know what I bet it
well
is?
made and everything.
It'll be to do with the semiconductor silicon chip shortage of the world.
Yep,
That's what it'll be.
yep, you're 100% right. That's exactly what it is. So they said there's like 200 components or something like that in this thing, and there are 4 components that they're struggling to source for the
Oh,
full-on like consumer rollout. And that's what it is, like
that's
semiconductors to
why
put into the console.
PlayStations, Xboxes, Samsungs, iPhones are all in short supply just now worldwide, is simply because they use natural resources to make these things, and like there's a shortage of them just now. And I don't know if it's to do with COVID or they were going to. I think they would have got short anyway because they were running low and they only started recycling phones in the past 5 years seriously. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of phones that have just went straight in the bin and been destroyed completely.
Hmm.
But the components in these phones could be reused in other phones, you know, like so.
Yeah. Yeah,
Recycling
even
phone.
your older ones have still got like capacitors and like
Oh, of course, yeah, yeah.
semiconductors and stuff like that. They can be totally reused. So don't throw anything away like that. Don't throw away
Hold on
all the
to it for just now
electronics.
until they completely run out and your old Nokia 3310 might skyrocket. Eh?
Recycle them in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it's delayed. It's now coming at the end of 2021. I'm going to predict that this is going to slip into
2022.
2022.
I would agree.
Yeah,
Yep.
I actually don't see this coming out this year, and if it does, it will be very, very limited. It's a shame though, because they've got all the physical stock of the games, and like I say, they look good. I think they're comparable to like Switch games or your what's the console you call it, the Evercade, like
Evercade.
that. Yeah, they look nice, like small sort of form factor boxes, and yeah, they look good. But
I
yeah,
didn't actually see that video. That's cool because I would be buying digital if I got one, but there's not enough on it for me to like justify it. Like the Echo game, that's definitely not a Echo, but uses all the Echo team. That would be one I'd want to play. And some of the like arcade classics that I don't have ties to look playable now that they've kind of remade the graphics and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they've refreshed it a wee bit. Like and I like all that stuff, but I think the price point's just too much for
Earthworm Jim
those
4.
type of for those type of games. Like it's just not enough for me, like to drop that amount of money. Like
Here's one for you before we
when you
move on,
compare
right?
Switch for a similar price.
We've heard exclusive thrown about many times by the big boys, by the small boys. Do you think Earthworm Jim 4 is too big a title to remain solely on this console?
No,
No? What if
no.
the console
Earthworm Jim-
flops? What if like it's
If the
dead by
console
next year?
Yeah, 100%. If the console completely flops and the game sells fuck all, the devs are going to want to recoup their expense. Now that's kind of assuming that they haven't already recouped their expense by selling the exclusive rights to these guys,
True.
because they might have paid for the development of it, like
Like
if,
Nintendo did with Bayonetta and such like.
yeah. So if Intellivision paid for the development of Earthworm Jim,
Then there's no
is it
cost.
Earthworm Jim 4 or 3
4.
or 4?
Because 3 was
So
3D.
yeah, so if they paid for the development of it, then they probably own the rights to the game, and it's up to television if they put it out anywhere else, which they would probably not do if that's one of their
No, because
big
it's
exclusives.
quote unquote system seller for this sort of console.
Yeah.
And Earthworm Jim's maybe not got a big name in the kids today, but see, for people of our generation, everybody remembers the cartoon and everybody's played at least one. They're not the easiest of games, but I'd have picked up Earthworm Jim 4 if it was coming to Switch or Xbox, absolutely.
Yeah,
Or sorry,
yeah. I mean,
PlayStation, my third console.
like I like everything about the Amico apart from the price. Like everything else
Yeah.
is like cool. It speaks to me. Like it looks fun. But the
£10
price
games.
is too £10 game or £20 for digital, for physical. Sorry. Which actually makes sense as a pricing model.
Yeah,
Like
for a change.
yeah, well, rather than £50 for a physical and £70 for a digital. Like
yeah.
what? But the price point for the actual console is way too high for the market that they're going for and the type of gaming experience that you can get. It's
What was
way
the
too
price
high.
point? Was it 150, 200?
It's over 200.
Yeah, that's too much. Like 150,
Yeah.
100 is about the sweet point for that. 150 with some games, 100 just by itself. That's the price point.
Yep. I think yeah, £100 if they can get it down to £100, then this thing is got
Good sell.
legs.
Yeah.
If it does not, if it's £200 plus, there's no you can't compete,
I understand.
cannot compete in the same space as Switch.
I understand why they've priced it that, because they've got to recuperate
Yep.
dev costs and stuff and
Yeah.
components and such, and repeated delays for like 2 years now. So
I think what they should have done is they should have actually simplified the controllers, took away the screens and everything, because the controllers are going to be expensive. That's what's
yeah,
costing
that'll be the
Mm.
price point. Because the
And they
machine
could have
itself
probably
will
got it
probably be
down.
some sort of basic Snapdragon,
box,
maybe,
yeah.
or Pentium or something.
Yeah, Android box or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
they could have probably got it to 150 without those type of
Two
controllers. You could
controllers,
still
yeah.
have, you could still have the motion controls and all that in it, but like just take away the screens and stuff, and then
Do a
I think
Wiimote?
you would be, yeah, basically like a Wiimote. And then I think you would be fine. To get it under for like 100, probably 150, which
Just something like.
is an okay price point.
Do you know this? The way it looks, I love the way it looks. Like, not every color point, but there's some colors of it that look really nice, and they would look good. And you know how you see all these in shows, like the minimalist New Yorker sort of guy that goes back to his suave apartment, and he's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
gonna have a fucking Switch sitting docked. Really, he's not gonna have the big chunky Xbox. He's gonna have an Amico sitting there that he frequently plays at the weekend with a with a Chardonnay. You know, that's the sort of apartment that I would expect on a TV show, to just go around it, just to be there. So that there is some pluses about this. Don't, if this is for you, if you're not a huge gamer, I still think it's highly priced if it's over 200. But like,
Yeah.
this could be for some people. There are some games that make me go, huh. And like Andy said, if it was at a better price point, I'd be probably pre-ordering this, to be fair with you. But this is the year of the Switch OLED, baby. And like the Metroid Dread's the game of the year, and then we've got Battlefield. Then we've got so much to buy on other consoles that making a fourth console now is kind of difficult to do. Like, the market's kind of settled happily on the three big ones, with PlayStation and Xbox being a personal preference, and then Nintendo kind of being everybody's side console that they always buy. Like, that's the market. That's been the market since the GameCube. You've bought one
Yeah.
of the two or both of the main ones, and then you've always bought a Nintendo either when it came out or halfway through the gen, just to spice it up a bit. You know, that's generally what console gamers do. Most console gamers I know, in fact, I know PC gamers that don't bother with consoles, but they'll still pick up a Nintendo as like their extra one. But anyway, yes, good luck to them, and I hope they don't get delayed again. I hope they make the money. Like, I think the guys seem really likeable and stuff, and we will be following the development of this console as it goes on.
So we shall. So other news, PUBG has been renamed, Ali.
Yes, Andy, with the most ridiculous name I've ever heard, Andy. What's the name?
So it's now called PUBG Battlegrounds.
So it's PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds is the title.
Yeah.
Baffling.
Stupid as fuck, man. Just
Call
either
it,
just call it
Battlegrounds.
PUBG or just call it Battlegrounds.
yeah.
Done.
Problem solved. And they're like, yes, but this is to
Oh.
differentiate from other PUBG titles. But I'm like, you can't call it PUBG because it was made by PlayerUnknown. So, like, say you're wanting PlayerUnknown Mario Party, it wouldn't be PUBG Mario Party, it would be PlayerUnknown Mario Party, or PlayerUnknown Racing, or PlayerUnknown
Totally.
Basketball, or PlayerUnknown Football. Not PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Football, not PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Racing. Do you know, like, it doesn't sound right at all. It's stupid.
Yeah, it totally doesn't. I think that they try to capitalise as much as they can on the PUBG brand, which I understand.
I
but
get it, but the brand is PlayerUnknown. Battlegrounds is the game.
it's just, it's just because PUBG was the game that became big from it. Like, they're
Why not
doing
call
other
it?
games,
Here's
but-
one, Andy. PUBG Battle Royale.
Yeah, they could have done that. Yeah, totally.
Because
That
Battle
makes
Royale
sense.
is the genre now. Yeah, that's what they should have done.
Then sure, yeah, you can have the PUBG whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you take it back to like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah,
just
it's stupid. PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Battle Royale makes sense. Because then you could have PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds Deathmatch, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds,
Yep.
you know, whatever. But yeah, it's stupid naming. Oh, it's going up there with the new 3DS and the Wii U.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, the next news story will probably dovetail into what we're going to
Cool.
talk about. So Microsoft Flight Simulator is now Metacritic's best Xbox game of 2021. Ali, best
Wow. The
Xbox game.
bet. It must be good. Can't wait to
It's
talk about it.
the best game of 2021 on Xbox, and it has a 91 on Metacritic, which is higher than Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which has a 90. What? Okay. So let's talk about our experiences with Flight Simulator.
What?
Do you think this is the best Xbox game of the year?
Okay, so no. I
I agree.
I didn't like medium. You remember how much I didn't like the medium. I wouldn't say I hated it. I disliked it enough not to play it.
Yeah.
The medium's a better game than this. And I know you agree.
Oh yeah. Totally.
So historically, back from the big box PC days, like I've always seen Flight Sim as who the fuck wants to play that? Like ever since Electronics Boutique had those big giant cardboard boxes with your 16 install discs inside or floppy disks and then
Yeah.
CDs, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they made this big deal about Flight Sim being, oh look, we've done what this is they've got a good PR and marketing team because the game doesn't match the way the marketing makes it feel exciting, in my humblest of humble opinions. So I fired up the game. It looked like ass. Even I don't understand why this game's so big, like file size. To be fair, from the amount of open world games I've played, and
Because it's the entire world. The entire world is mapped in the game.
again,
That's why
I'm not sure why. Because it's not mapped really well. It looks fucking horrible. It looks like Google Maps did 10 years ago. Then I updated all the world packs and updates, and it looks slightly better, but nothing's accurate. So what I did was, obviously I just went flying. You get a standard wee one-man plane, and I went to Prestwick Airport, which is my nearest airport, and I tried to fly over my house. They've not even got Air River on the right side. Like, you know, the River Air that goes, like, parallel
Yeah.
to Castle Hill Road. It's not even next to the road, and I'm like, what? Why is it in a fucking farmer's field? Like, this isn't right. And then I flew out to my mum's house in Coyoten. Where the fuck's... Like, my mum's house was... Like, it's one of the newer houses, but I mean, my mum stayed there for 20 years and it was built before that. Where the fuck's... Like, okay, we'll go to my old house. That's not what the street looks like. I flew to where my current house is. That's not what that looks like. I flew down the high street. Vaguely looks like Air High Street. I'm like, okay, fine. Let's try a flight. So I chose Toronto as my destination, obviously. Love Toronto. And I started flying.
From Prestwick.
Yeah. And
in the tiny plane.
in the tiny plane. And then and then so I got in the air.
Wait, can I make a bet?
Sure.
You did not complete this flight. There's no way.
Wait to the end of the story.
Okay.
So
That's
I got in the air, and I'm like, so what else can I do? I was in other planes. Kinda, there's my flight path. I'm at cruising speed. This is me playing the game.
Yeah.
Can I do a loop-de-loop? Oh, not really, my plane shook. Okay. Am I at the end of Scotland yet? Nope. Bear in mind, we're on, like, the west coast, right?
Yeah,
The west coast.
yeah.
Nope. Oh, cool, there's land. That must be, like, Ireland. Nope. Aaron.
Aaron.
I'm like, how fucking long has that been? So I went, right, fuck this. Didn't even leave Scotland. I went, let's start again. So I started, I went, do you know what? Prestwick to London. Prestwick to London. I can do this. Brrr, took off. I'm in the air. I'm like, pause menu. Oh my god, this is fucking awful. How do I get rid of this fucking menu? This is really designed for a mouse. Right. push X on that one. It was like trying to watch a dodgy movie. It was like, close this window, close this window. Oh no, it's opened up another one. Close that window, close that window. Oh, another one. Close that window, close that window. Where my plane's still going all by itself. Close that window, close that window, close that window. Oh, cool, live weather. Put that on, so it started raining. Obviously. Where am I now? Must be in England. Look down. I'm like, is that Stranraer? So I flew down. Yeah, Stranraer. I'm at Stranraer. I could get a bus there quicker. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's go to London. Guy came in that was fixing my living room door that the kid broke. Talked to him. Just left the controller down. He left. Leo woke up. I went and settled him, put him back down. Went, do you know what? I'm gonna go for a shower. Went for a shower. Oh, sugar! I left my controller. Where I must be near enough. Look, Newcastle. The fuck is this doing? How the fuck did I speed this up? Menu. All the fucking Tony Stark menus in the world pop up. I'm like, easy to use my fucking ass. The easiest thing about this is taking off and turning. Where the fuck is... Oh, right, okay, a trip skip. Skip to landing. Approach. Where the is this London? Must be... What? I'm not even at fucking London and I'm starting descent. I should have just drove this fucking plane in the roads. I went, oh my god, where's the airport? And it was like so far away. I'm like, do you know what? I slated Forza Horizon 4 for making Edinburgh so close to the Lake District that I appreciate the fact that I can fucking drive to London in 5 minutes and that. See this bullshit? Yeah. I've got no planes to shoot down. I've got no achievements apart from look at 10 different destinations with the right analogs. Don't give me that bullshit. I don't want if I'm flying to Toronto and it's taking 4.5 hours, I want to be fucking sitting in a plane with a holiday booked, not enjoying myself on a fucking flight simulator. Wow. This is the best. So, don't fucking listen to these reviews. I don't know what Andy's about to say. He might have loved it. This is the worst game I've played this year. It's so fucking boring. I wouldn't even call it a game. Like, yes, it's a simulator. Yes, it's probably very good for hobbyists and flight training and pilots. See if you want to play a game, get fucking Ace Combat if it's still a thing, or Air Combat or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
This is bullshit. And then they try and... Look, Top Gun DLC... I don't even believe that they're going to have planes for you to shoot down in that. I think they're just giving you the plane. And then take away the actual gameplay. When you get into the menu, it's just, do you want the cool shit? Buy it. Do you want the airports to look properly? £6 an airport, buddy. Some of the big airports are $15.99, Andy, so you can have a pristine looking Madrid airport, but the rest of the world looks like a fucking garbage dump. Do you know what I mean? Like, sure, once you get to the streets of Ayr it might look like that, but see above, you should see it properly. If this game's taking up fucking nearly a quarter of the built-in hard drive, why the fuck is it looking like somebody's rolled over the entire earth with a dirty steamroller? Because everything looks bullshit in it. This looks, if you look down, it looks like PS2. I don't even think the plane looks good. I don't think the handling's good. I think the menus are fucking shit. I don't think there's interesting music. I don't think the game's very interesting at all. I don't think the fucking event system is very good. I don't think the action tours are very... Who the fuck cares about flying around the pyramids of Giza if it's taking you fucking 6 hours to get round them? No one should play this game. Fuck this game. It's banned from the show after this episode. So, Andy, talk about your game of the year. Go on.
No, I hate it as well. We
agree on something. So,
I totally agree. The menus are garbage. Horrible. Like even like the very opening menu, like it sort of hangs, and then it's got that fucking nonsense cursor that moves really slowly, and then it took me a few minutes just to even work out how to fly, like to get to the part where I'm like, right, I want to fly. There should be like just a fly button, like. But you have to go in and like I wanted to fly from Glasgow to Prestwick, so it's like go in, you select your route, and then you need to go zoom all the way in, and you have to find Glasgow and then choose Prestwick as the destination. So I'm like, oh, I'll fly here and I'll see if I can see Mum and Dad's house. But as you say, and the problem with that actually is that you can't see enough because when you've got in that cockpit view,
Restricted view.
you can't see the ground.
Nope.
Like it's like I find I have to keep like just pointing the nose down so that I can like look at the ground.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and then it's like pull the nose up, like you need to be higher. I'm like, okay. So I
Even when
flew
you do
from-
see it,
yeah, it's like it doesn't. It kind of looks like it, but
it doesn't.
it's a rough approximation. Like I don't understand why they couldn't just have used the Google Map.
Yeah, I don't understand that because that was kind of what they were touting, like not photo accurate, but accurate map representations.
Yeah.
It's not if the River Aire that's meant to be parallel to the road I walk home is fucking 10 fields that way.
The bits of it are there, like so. Like I flew over the wind farm up here, and it's there. Like the wind farm, like it's
not enough
between
for
like
me.
Glasgow and Ayr. Like it's there. I don't think there's as many. Like
I want to land in Union Street.
windmills.
That's what I would want to do.
Trade in
No,
like I want. Yeah, I want
Trade
to.
in flight simulator. Sorry.
I should fly the other way, yeah. But no, so I wanted to fly and like see if I could see Mum and Dad's house. And like when I got closer to Prestwick Airport, it was very clear that I couldn't see Mum and Dad's house. And like the plane that you get, like I don't know if you can change planes. I didn't see an option to change the plane or anything there. I maybe buy them or unlock them or something. The plane is slow as fuck. Like, oh my god, it's so slow. Because it puts you in like a tiny little plane. And that just isn't fun. What a crap experience to give you at first. Like, they should give you like a normal plane. Like, a normal, fast plane. Not this slow piece of shit. Because for me to fly from Glasgow to Prestwick took about 20 minutes. Which is... I could almost drive from Glasgow to Prestwick in 20 minutes. Like, if I drove just slightly over the speed limit. So, why would I ever fly from Glasgow to Prestwick? And there are flights which do that. Yeah, but I just don't get it. But yeah, it takes too long to do anything. And there's no way I would fucking fly to London. I was like, this is a very short flight. Like, and it takes 20 minutes in real time, maybe, for the plane to fly. From one to the other. But it shouldn't take fucking 20 minutes in a video game. Like, it should be 5 minutes. Like, it should be condensed down or sped up or whatever to make it more fun and palatable. Because, like you said, once you're actually up in the air and going, you don't need to press a single fucking button. You can put the controller down and just sit there and watch. But you can't see anything because the cockpit view is terrible.
Yeah,
So,
the real time
you just-
killed it for me. There should be an arcade mode.
Yes. Or like speed up or something. Okay, there's a skip, but then like, what's the point of the game? Because you're just taking off and landing. Like,
Also, the
that's
loading
good
is
for
shocking.
practice
Shocking.
Yeah, it's good for practice for pilots, like to take off and landing. Maybe I understand that, but if they've touted the game as being like a sort of tour experience, so they want you to get up in the plane and look around. But you can't fucking see anything in this plane.
No.
Like make me a see-through plane. Right, that's what they need, a see-through
The
plane. so I
invisible
can look
jet
through the
from Wonder
ground.
Woman.
Exactly, yeah, like invisible plane. So I can look around, look at the ground and go like, oh cool, like there's a street down there, oh there's a river, oh there's a beach, blah blah blah. Like that sort of thing. But yeah, this game was so boring, and I would agree, like I would struggle to actually call it a game. It is technically a game because it does fit in the simulator genre. But it is more, I would say, of a training simulator, or like Google Maps, I would not say is a game, although you can have a lot of fun with Google Maps, and there's probably fun to be had in this game as well, but not for me at all. No way. Not an Xbox game, and I almost think that they probably shouldn't have bothered releasing it on Xbox, because what was the point? Like, if you can take off, fine, and then you go to land, those parts are involved, but when you're actually up in the sky, you're doing nothing, you're just sitting there, and like, if you're going to be sitting there, like, fucking sitting on your phone, or playing your Switch, or, like, doing something else, like, sitting watching Netflix. A pilot doesn't do that. What is it? What I'd be interested to know is, what does a pilot do?
Pilot's technically the backup for the autopilot these days,
autopilot,
because it's all computerized, and I'm not slagging off pilots. There's probably a lot more to your job, checks and things you have to do, and have to be very knowledgeable, and but a lot of the time now it's automated, So you're there as a backup, or if turbulence comes in to take over, you know, like so. Not for
The
me.
pilot can fucking see. Like he has a good view, and he like looks around, and I'm sure he has a like. And even when we've been on planes and stuff, you can look out the window and you get like a decent view of whatever's there. Like fair enough, if you're up above clouds, then you might only see clouds. But like when you're above land and there's no clouds, or you're underneath the clouds, you can see shit down there. But like in this one, you're like you can't really see very much, like at all. So this kind of sucks.
Like you said, it doesn't help with the first plane they give you. Like,
Yeah.
I know there's probably other planes in it, but it just didn't give you a selection. It's just like, here's your shitty plane. Like, just give
Yeah.
me a Concorde or a passenger jet to start with, or give me the
Yeah.
option, because they marketed this as the accessible flight simulator for everybody. You know, it
Yeah.
certainly isn't. It's
Nope.
simplified the controls for a controller. Like
Hmm.
go, landing gear, left and right. That's it. But it's like, give me a better plane. Like, why are you locking planes behind it? It's not like everybody's a fan going, oh, I really wish I had a 747 just now because that's my favourite plane. I'm sure
So-
there is, but
So I would agree it's maybe slightly simplified, but it's still not that simple. Taking off seems to be pretty straightforward. I got the hang of that, no bother. Managed to take off. And it's giving you the warnings when you're going like your angle's too high or too low or whatever, and it's like, oh, you need to do this a bit more. Okay, that's fine. See, when I got into like the landing part of it, so did you land the plane at all? No, you did not land the plane. Oh my god, right. So I went to land my plane at Prestwick Airport, and I got it lined up, and it's like it shows you like the sort of descent point, right? And it's like it showed me it in these big red boxes, which basically you have to like fly through them. It's kind of like you would in your Ace Combat games or whatever. It's like here you need to go through this checkpoint, like that. So I'm going through these. The boxes are red and it says too fast, but it doesn't tell me how to fucking slow down. I'm like,
yeah.
don't know how to slow the plane down, so I'm just gonna go in and hope, and like I'm not accelerating at all at this point, so I'm just gonna go in and like hope that I just slow down. So I went down, and it's like went down, and I got to the ground, and I got like to the ground nicely, and I'm like, okay, this is good, and I bounced back up, and I went away over this way a bit, and I'm like, okay, I'll just back in and then back down again, and bounced up, and then went, okay, right, I'm definitely going slower, so I tried it again. And then ended up upside down. And then it's like, taxi your way along the runway. And I was upside down and I could not move. I know there's no option for me to no Shremek on the plane, alley. No Shremek. That's a Robot Wars reference for any young people watching this. Self-righting mechanism. But yeah, like it didn't let me do anything more beyond that, so I would have, I don't know, I'd had to quit back out and then start again. But yeah, I put it off, deleted it immediately after that. Like, this
Oh,
was
yeah, mine was
no
gone.
fun whatsoever. Like, taking
was
off
quite-
and landing
I
was,
was-
not fun.
I was
Those
quite
are the only
excited
dull
about this.
parts of it, so. I wasn't excited about it. I was interested in it, and I thought it would. I just thought it would be more. I don't know. I just thought there would be more interesting things in it. Like,
There's
I thought
not.
it'd be more interesting to fly the plane, and it just wasn't. I can understand the want of people to play this on a PC if you are learning to fly,
Yeah.
or if you're a pilot and you want to try out different routes
Or a
whatever.
plane
Like,
enthusiast that wants to do all the
Yeah.
buttons and stuff. But see,
yeah,
it's no fun with simplified controls, but it wouldn't work
Yep.
without them on console. You need
Yep.
a keyboard for the bing bing, to push all the buttons.
yeah. If you I think this is for people who are either pilots training to be pilots, or plane enthusiasts, or people that wanted to be pilots and never did it, or people that might be interested in becoming pilots. That's what this game is for, and those people who are interested in becoming pilots that haven't done it yet, like young people, they might play this and go like,
This is
"This is
boring.
fucking boring as hell." Like, I'm not doing this.
At least a bus driver gets to stop and talk to folk.
Yeah, well, I mean, like obviously for a pilot, like you're getting paid good money, I would imagine. And
yeah.
Having that like responsibility and everything, and I would imagine that flying a real plane and getting that satisfaction of taking it off and landing it safely and everything, like, is probably quite like exhilarating. Whereas this game, there's none of that. Like it's
Oh no, there's nothing exhilarating about it whatsoever. No.
No. no, nothing whatsoever. It's very boring. Do not play it. delete it.
And there was no two-player mode that I could see, and like, I don't know what they're going to do with the Top Gun DLC that they spoke about, because surely the whole point in that would be to shoot like MiGs down, and
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't think there's no way they're adding shooting to this game. There's no way. So
I don't think so either, 'cause
this means is you're going to be able to fly the Top Gun fighter planes. That's it.
maybe you would be able to fly fast though. That could be better. So I can fly faster, like a lot faster.
All it is
That'd
going to
be
be a
more
lot
fun.
of flying over ocean, which is even more boring, and landing on naval carriers when you think about it. Like,
Yeah.
so
I don't know. Maybe
not for me.
it's something I would go back to
I
after
will-
a few patches, but I don't think I will.
No. I'll put my hand in my heart and say the opposite. I will never go back to this game ever.
Yeah.
The sheer size of the
it was
thing is
so
just
boring, man.
it's not worth the file size.
Yeah, it was so boring. One of the most boring games I've ever played.
Agreed. We agreed. Probably the first time on a show this
We
year.
agree.
And,
And, do you know, I played a worse game than that this week as well.
but we're not
Which
talking
we'll
about
talk
that
about.
just now because we're breaking back into the news, Andy. But that was our flight sim coverage. Don't expect any more in this podcast. I was worried that Andy was going to fucking love it, and even up until I finished my sentence. But you usually like crap. You do. You like shit.
But I like shit that has like a good story to me. I mean, this doesn't have anything. There's nothing in this
Doesn't
game for
have
me at all.
There's not even
Like
a
the
story mode.
gameplay's not enticing. There's no story mode whatsoever. The graphics are not good. The gameplay's not good. Like, it's got nothing at
No.
all. Like unless you're like a pilot.
I would argue it's not a video game. I would say it's a simulation, which maybe
Yeah.
speaks to some people because it's maybe accurate. How boring would it be to be a pilot though? I would definitely need my Switch on charge.
I don't think you'd be allowed to play the
I
Switch
bet.
mode.
I guarantee you are.
I mean, I guarantee you you're not.
Don't think so?
Absolutely not. Because the thing is, the pilot, like, although the autopilot may be engaged,
They have to
one
be
pilot
focused at everything all the time.
is in command and they have to be focused and they're not allowed. Like, I'm sure they've banned talking about like things that are not related to like the.
It's
the
even
plane
worse.
or-
Can you
yeah.
imagine that job? How soulless.
I think it's only. To be fair, I think it's only during like takeoff and landing they've banned that shit. So that the language. they
Imagine you
choose is
didn't like your
only-
co-pilot you were assigned. Like, imagine he was just
Oh,
a dick.
Yeah.
It'd be
Well, I mean, you
awful.
could get that in any job though. Like, if you're only working with one person or something, or like, two people. Or
Yeah,
something,
but
you
imagine
can
you were in
work-
one of those flights that was like 8-9 hours. And that's you. You're just like.
Oh yeah.
Are you telling me on those flights they're not allowed any form of entertainment? None. There's not even a wee TV.
They won't be. No, they won't be allowed.
If there's any pilots watching this, let us know. If I've not
Yeah, let us know.
enough, then let me know.
Yeah, I don't know if I know any pilots, but like my uncle did want to be a pilot. So, like,
My dad's
He-
neighbour's a
he-
pilot, but I don't like him, so.
he has played Flight Simulator. Like, I remember him playing it back in the day. Like, yeah, on like you were talking about with the giant floppy disk installs, like hundreds of them. I remember him playing that, and he had like a not a yoke, but like a joystick and everything to
Yeah.
play it. Because he always wanted to be a pilot, but he wasn't allowed because of his eyesight. 'Cause he didn't
Yeah.
have 20/20 vision, so like he wasn't allowed to be a pilot. But he's flown like a helicopter and stuff like that now, so
Deadly.
it's kind of.
They go to the
laxed on-
ground like a
on these
fucking
things a
dark
little bit.
man. Boom.
Oh, I would not want to fly a helicopter or a plane in real life for that.
I
matter.
don't like
wouldn't even want to
planes.
go in a helicopter.
I wouldn't go in a
Like-
helicopter. Planes are bad enough.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, other news. Focus Home Interactive has bought Dotemu, who are the guys that published Streets of Rage 4.
Interesting. I don't know who Focus Home are though.
Well, Focus Home are the people that make everything. Focus Home are the publisher.
They make what? What do they make?
I'm sure. I think it's. Let me just double check. But I think it's the same
You're
people
thinking of
that
Tencent.
do no THQ.
Oh, is it the guys that own THQ?
I think Focus Home is owned by them.
That's like a crazy billionaire guy that's just bought every license he likes.
I could be wrong on that. Let me check.
I'd never heard them, but do you know why this was a strange move to me while we check? Dotemu seemed like the cool indie publisher that wasn't going to fold. Do you know what I mean? Like Bethel Games,
Yeah.
you know, like they didn't see.
Yeah.
They've got a good relationship with Sega. They're doing this stuff already. It's like deals like this, I'm not saying it will, but it could affect their relationship with companies like Sega, to do their licenses and stuff, depending. I'm not saying it will. I don't know the reason. Obviously, money's the reason. Hopefully, I would like to think it wasn't just selling out and it was to do with like keeping the company afloat or maybe expanding the company and it was finances they didn't have, to make it bigger, because these are the guys that are meant to be doing the Turtles game that get announced, which feels like 5 years ago and it's not shown up,
Okay. Okay, so Focus Home Interactive is, I don't believe it is actually part of THQ Nordic.
I've never heard of them.
Focus Home, they've done loads of stuff though. They did a Plague Tale. They have just done. They're doing Aliens Fireteam. They've just done Necromunda Hired Gun. They've done that. They've done that game Hood. They've done SnowRunner.
All of these are garbage, Andy. Like
They've done.
they are.
I don't know these ones.
Which is a strange move for Dotemu to go, do you know what, we've had a few successful games like Wonder Boy, Streets of Rage 4, what should we do next? Sell the
Plague Tale
company?
is, by the way, Plague Tale is not garbage. Plague Tale's awesome. They did World War Z. They did the
Garbage.
Surge and the Surge 2.
Garbage,
Farming
garbage.
Simulator 19.
Garbage. Farming garbage.
They did Vampire.
Garbage.
They have published almost all of the Warhammer games, actually.
Garbage.
The Mud Runner series, they published that. The Council,
heard
did
of
you not play that one? You played The Council.
Did I finish it?
Was that episodic game?
Did I finish it?
I don't think you finished it, no.
Garbage.
The Technomancer, they did that one as well.
Absolute garbage.
Bound by Flame as well, they did
Garbage.
that one.
I'm just kidding. I haven't even played or heard of most of these games, but hopefully it's done for the right reasons. I'm not saying it's not, but it just seems. I don't know why it seems strange. It just seems like Dotemu was one of these companies that was just going to keep going. I'm not saying they're not going to stop, but it's just when you hear that they've been bought out or sold, or they've sold themselves, so because this isn't like a partnership or a joining or anything. This is been bought.
No, they bought them, yeah.
It just says to me, money talks. That's what it says to me.
Yeah, definitely. They also did they did the Sherlock Holmes.
Then again,
Adventures of Sherlock Holmes
garbage.
series. Trackmania as well.
Garbage. But then we are in the era where a successful company like Bethesda can be bought out with the right amount of zeros in a paycheck.
Oh, 100%. Dotemu was purchased for $46 million.
Whoa, that's high, man. Good for them.
That's a lot of money. Yeah,
So, I know why they've been sold out.
Yes, 100%. Like, because they've had a few good successes and they've done well for themselves. Like the
Hopefully
games they've
they keep
made,
up.
they've sold well. So
Like
I would
to see
imagine they will.
I would like to see a Streets of Rage 5. I would like to see a brand new Wonder Boy, like, because they did Wonder Boy 3, which probably one of my favourite Master System. No, it is one of my favourite Master System games, and it was beautiful. I'm sure they're working on the Turtles game, the sort of brand new Turtles game that's a sequel to like Turtles in Time style stuff.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah.
But like that I just was surprised. But then when you said 46 million, I expected you to say like 6-7 million they were sold for. I was like, yeah, 46. yeah, I would have sold the company too. Like,
yep, 46 million is.
but
is
that doesn't include their ties and relationships with Sega. Like, it's not like they have bought a part of Sega. Sega decided to allow them to work on Streets of Rage, and
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. But they'll have been contracted. They'll have agreements in place
course.
for potential future
See,
games as well.
this
so
it saddens
those
me
will
though as
carry
well,
over.
because it's a bit like, it's not like it, but it's a bit like Taxman was a coder that hacked Sonic games and made his own games, and Sega hired him, and then he left and made his own company, and we haven't had Sonic Mania 2 or anything from Taxman's company.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like,
It's a crime game, is what that is.
like, why is Sonic Mania 2 not a thing? And like, no one can say it's COVID, because I'm not taking anything away from the development of Sonic games, because I believe that like Taxman puts his all into them. But I'm sorry, you worked from home when you made them. The hack games, the hack ROM games, if you know what I mean, Andy. Like his Sonic. So COVID wouldn't have affected that to the point where it's been delayed. It says to me that Sonic Mania 2 isn't happening because Taxman left.
Yeah.
Why did you
I
leave
would guess
Taxman?
that's what it
Because, like, to me, like, his dream was working for Sega. He was a fan that got hired by Sega for his work, and he made one game and then left and made his own company. And what have you been doing? You've not even made an announcement. He's not even said what they're making. He's just like Christian Whitehead, I believe his name. He's now left,
Yeah.
and he's formed his own studio. Cool. What's he doing? I don't know. He's made his own studio though. I just hate the fact that we've not got Sonic Mania 2.
Yeah.
It seemed the logical step, like Sonic Mania 2, Sonic Mania 3. Because I mean, when did Sonic Mania come out? Six years ago now?
Yeah, maybe, I don't know if it was 6 years ago because Switch was out when it came out, so it's
4,
can only be 4, maybe
3,
3 or maybe 4. But yeah, like Sonic Mania sold well
really well
when it came out
I bought 3
digitally,
copies.
and then it sold well enough digitally that they decided to put a physical release of it as well, and then it sold well physically as well. So
I bought it physically once, twice, and then they brought out the
Yeah, I
Plus
bought it-
version, and I bought that as well.
yeah. Well, that's when they brought out the physical one.
Sure,
when
sorry,
they brought
yeah,
out the Plus.
you're right.
But I bought it twice as well, like because I got
You got the special one?
I got the special edition, which had a digital code in it for the Switch game, and then I bought it digital on PS4 as well. So like I bought it twice,
I bought it.
so I could have play it handheld and on the console.
Bought it digital and Switch, and then Switch releases sometimes don't come till the next day. So I then went, where the fuck is it? Remember I was messaging you at midnight going, it's not here, it's not here. So then I bought it on Xbox, and I played it on Xbox. And then I finished it fully on Switch. And then they brought the physical version out, obviously. And the PlayStation 4 reversible box art looks more like the Mega Drive than the green Xbox one did. So I bought that one. The special edition one. And I'm like, with Sonic Mania 2, we got Sonic Forces shortly after it. Do you know what? People are disappointed about the 35th anniversary of Zelda this year. But do you know what I'm disappointed about? Sonic's fucking 30th anniversary. Like, they said that coronavirus had held it up. I understand that. But you said it had held up the announcements, which means you had shit to announce. And we all expected it to come this year. Because it was meant to be, remember, last year that they were going to announce all this shit. We've had fucking nothing Sonic related announced.
No, not true. Sonic is in the Olympic game.
Yeah. So
Sonic
is in 2 Point Hospital.
Hospital.
Yeah, but don't make him Sam Fisher. Don't make him Sam Fisher. They won't make him Sam
I know.
Fisher.
I totally agree with you, mate. Like it's nonsense. But I mean, we know they're working on that 3D Sonic game. Like maybe they
It's
want to
not
focus
coming
on
next year.
that and not the 2D one. No, it's not. Well, we'll see what.
Are you
happens
telling
with
me
the penalty.
a company like Sega that's going to sell themselves to Xbox because their arcade business is failing as well? But are you telling me that they don't have a team that could work on a 2D Sonic game, or a guy that's as good as Taxman that they can go into the ROMs and go, you come and work for us? Because Sega's cool enough to allow you to use their assets if you're a fan and release the game, as long as it's not for profit. Nintendo are just like, you can't fucking use Mario in anything. But like, that's how Christian Whitehead got hired. He was notorious in the Sonic hacking scene. He made some really good fan mods of Sonic games, and they went, do you want to work for us? Within 2-3 years, Sonic Mania was out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, maybe he didn't like working for Sega. Maybe he didn't like doing that.
So what's he done? What's he done since
made a great game.
2017?
I have no idea. Like he made a great game. I'll give him that. But I don't know what's going on from there. But you would think that they could have made at least one more
Sonic Mania. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, moving on from that, the Evil Dead game has been delayed into February 2022.
That's fine. Like, this is a game that I'm interested in because it looks kind of like the Friday game that I loved. And then remember they get told they couldn't make any more content, and it was like, why? And it was a dispute because the guy that made the first film and the second film were arguing over who owed them, and they've never got back to where they are. And Dead by Daylight kind of shot past them, and I don't like that game. But this one looks cool. This one looks really cool.
Yeah, looks fun. I think this is actually made by the same people as the Friday the 13th game.
It must be
fun.
like a less flexible license. I think the problem with the Friday game, for those that don't know, is Friday the 13th, Jason was never shown with his hockey mask and the overalls and the knife. It was like a bald head coming out the river, as far as I remember, or the lake, sorry, at the end, because it was about his mum in the first film. His mum was the killer. And in the second movie, which had a different writer and everything, was Jason the way that everyone knows how he looks. But the guy that made the first movie claimed that he created Jason, so he owns the rights to all this money. And the guy that wrote the second movie is like, but you didn't write Jason. You wrote a story about his mum, and you left a teaser at the end for Jason to possibly appear. But you didn't show Jason in a hockey mask. You didn't show Jason with like the overalls and the knife and everything. You just that's it. So I don't know what happened with the court case. I don't know how it was settled. I know Friday the 13th was allowed to be resold again, but they still aren't allowed to do further work on the game, which includes more Jasons, blah blah blah. So
when did Friday the 13th the movie come out?
the original one?
Second one.
1991. I'm not a big horror fan. First one was definitely the 80s.
1981 was part 2, right?
Oh shit, I was 10 years out.
When did Splatterhouse come out?
On the Mega Drive, that was the 90s, because the Mega Drive didn't come out, remember, till 1991. I would say 93
It was
for
an arcade.
92?
Splatterhouse was an arcade before that. Okay, 88 it was. 88.
Jesus, my guessing.
So Splatterhouse copied it.
Splatterhouse is that, yeah, but again, things like that, like video games weren't big back then compared to what they are now.
No.
So no one gave a fuck about
You
Splatterhouse.
could kind of get away with it, yeah. Although if you tried to make Splatterhouse now, maybe it would be an issue.
It would be an absolute issue, yeah, it would be, because you're playing as Jason. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Pretty much, yeah.
but the game was fun, like it was cool. Like you wanted to come off a game chat in that game, and you wanted to find the radios because you felt like you were alone. But then if you used the radio, Jason could see the radio signals and like and zoom towards it. I had some fun with that game. So
Maybe the Evil Dead game, like I will definitely play that with you. Like I like the idea of Evil Dead much more than Friday the 13th.
I would.
So I'll definitely try that.
I would agree. There's some. I'm not into quote unquote slasher flicks. I don't like horror as a genre really. I don't like the jump scare genre that started in the 2000s. I'm glad it's kind of going. What I like is I like Scream or a whodunit, or you know, like the ones where you have to figure out who the fuck's the killer or why is this happening. I like movies at the end that you're like, what the fuck? That was him all along. Why did he do it? And you're piecing together in your mind why. I like that. I like a story that makes you think. I don't like a drawer suddenly slamming open and giving you a jump scare, because that's a cheap scare that's bullshit.
Totally agree. I like the Blair Witch Project. That was a good movie.
Was a good movie. The first one, not the second. I've never seen the third, but the second one was bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do one more news story, and then we'll talk about some games. Do you remember Zool?
I
Zool,
fucking love Zool, as you know, Andy. Zool the Ninja with his sliding, with his grab on the wall, with the fucking cool candy levels, with the fucking Chupa Chups license on certain versions.
So, Zool is coming back, but he's only coming back to PC. It's a PC game. It's called Zool Redimensioned.
Why the fuck is it only on PC?
You've got a laptop you can play
I
this
am
on.
not playing this game then. Fuck Zool, he's dead.
This is the type of game that will come to the other platforms. It's probably just coming to PC for now, and then it will come to the others later.
This is cool to me. This is another game that .emo should have got hold of. I'm not saying it's not going to be
I don't know
good.
if there's. Yeah, I don't know if there's as much nostalgia for Zool as there is for like.
There's definitely not. A lot of people our age, I say, do you remember Zool? They're like, nope. I don't know how I played it. I don't know where I played it when I was young. I just remember playing it into the Chupa Chup lollipops. I doubt it will have that branding or advertising in this game, but I just
Probably
remember
not.
the Candyland, and I remember it looked so nice. It moved so fluid. You could kind of skid, and it was cool to me.
It was cool. I remember you were playing it at
I did play
Eurogame one year. Yeah.
all the new games.
Yeah,
Andy's checking out all the new stuff, and what you playing? Zool.
They had a retro section in it.
The
and,
retro
you
corner.
were-
Yeah.
That's what I remember about Zool. I don't really. I probably did play it when I was younger, but I don't really. I don't have any memories of it.
I don't know what console I played it on, if I'm being honest.
Did it all come to Mega Drive?
It did. It was Master System and Mega Drive, but I don't think I had it on it. I played it at someone's house. I want to say it was on
Yeah.
an Atari, and I used the joystick.
Right. Okay. I mean, I definitely played it on a Mega
Zool
Drive.
Redimensioned, is that what this is called?
That's what it's called. Yeah, Zool Redimensioned.
Okay. It's developed by Sumo Digital, and
Yep.
it's coming out in August this year. This is August.
That's very soon.
And it's a remaster of the original game.
Yeah.
What?
I think you're gonna buy this on PC.
How can I find out more news about this?
It's on Steam. There's a Steam page for it.
I can't be bothered. Graphics. It's been rebuilt from the ground up for modern audiences. Let's see the official trailer. I'm sorry, I can't share this. Have you seen the official trailer, Andy?
No, I will watch it as well.
The year was 1992. A ninja shall return. Zool redimensioned. It looks the fucking same. It looks the same. 20 levels of retro platforming. It looks the same.
Yeah, very much.
A boss battle against a banana. Never get that far. Mini
No
games.
chopper chops though. No chop chops.
I remember playing the piano, so I got to that level. Achievements, that's fine. Yeah, there's no Chupa Chups. And more. It looks good because it looks the same. So how's it a remaster? I mean,
It's definitely like it wouldn't have looked that good back in the day.
it did.
Yeah, but it didn't actually look that good. Like if
It
you go
did.
back and play that exactly now, it definitely didn't.
Probably moves a bit
But yeah,
better and such.
that's coming.
So
yeah.
here's what they've changed. Here's what they've changed. They've added checkpoints, which wasn't a thing back then. It was either you finish the level or you die. Redesigned boss fights, achievements, level select screen, accessibility options, and more. So basically, now you can save mid game and stuff like that. Those looking for an experience closer to the original can take on the true hardcore challenge of Ultimate Ninja Mode, or somewhere peculiarly given Zool's Amiga Origins, play the Mega Drive version. So they've added the Mega Drive version, which was released in 1993. Whatever your preference, Zool Redimensioned, which is said to have been created with guidance from the game's original developers, which is always cool, comes to Steam later this month, although a specific release date is yet to be given. Tangentially related. Today was the day I discovered that after 30 years of believing about it, Zool is a leathered up gremlin. What?
There's also there's no price for this yet either.
It will be £10 or less. There's no way this is over that.
I would think so, yeah.
I mean, Zool was good. I don't remember I played it. Zool Chupa Chups. That's how I always remember him.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was blatant product placement. You can play it right now if you play classic games. Yeah, play classic games, DOS games. You can play it right there online.
Actually, you don't even need to buy it. You can just play that. Can you play the Chupa Chups version?
Yeah.
Oh, just play that then.
Yeah. It's also got Civ 2, Civ 1, Doom 1, Warcraft 2. Mario teaches typing. The Oregon Trail, which I used to love. Yeah, it's right here. So yeah, Zool. I do love Zool. I don't know why I love Zool.
But yeah, you loved it anyway, because the guy is like a BDSM gremlin, that's it.
That's
anyway,
why I liked it.
yeah, let's talk about some games we played aside from fucking Fleet Simulator. Right.
Cool. So,
Oh, it'll be a video play. Yeah, still video play.
Jesus, that was loud.
Oh, stop your video.
I can't.
Hi. I'll mute it.
It's done now.
It'll be from your video it was playing. The Zool video.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was. Do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so I played a few games over the weekend whilst I was off. I did play more Judgment, but I don't really have anything more to update on it. Other than one thing, I did a court case in a law office, which was to investigate a missing cake, Ali.
I'm
I had to investigate a
missing cake.
missing cake, and it wasn't like it wasn't really a court case. They asked me to come and help them, and I'm like, oh shit, something's happened. Like, because every time I've been asked to go and help somebody before, someone's been getting beat up or been threatened or like had a gun pointed in their face or something like that. And this time when I went in, it's just like there's a guy kneeling on the floor, and there's a woman sitting in a chair, and there's another woman shouting at this guy saying that he stole her cake. I'm like, alright, okay, I guess I can help here. So I had to do like an investigation to find out who stole the cake. And that's what I was showing you the pictures of the guys going objection, like pointing and stuff. And I was like, oh, like this is cool because it's kind of like a nod to Phoenix Wright. But yeah, like I resolved that case and nobody stole the cake, Ali. The cake was thrown in the bin by the man who was throwing out the rubbish because there was a power cut and all the electrics went off and the cake went bad and was thrown in the bin and no one ate the cake. Nobody. But that was a really funny little quest. Like it only took like 10-15 minutes to do. And I was highly amused by how serious these people were treating this stolen cake. They were like, "Oh, it's a very special cake" and all this, and I'm like, "It's a fucking cake. Like, even if we ate it, who cares?" I'm like, "Oh my god." But yeah, so I played that, and that's going to take me quite a bit longer to complete. I think I've just got to chapter 4 now. Okay, but aside from that, I played a little bit more of Hunter's Arena Legends. Played a bit more of that because I'd only done the tutorial when I played it last week, and I wanted to try it like online multiplayer because that's what the game is. And I played a game or two of this, and
excuse me,
it's fine when you're fighting against like AI opponents. So there's a bunch of like sort of demony looking things.
What's this game called? Sorry.
Hunter's Arena Legends. It was the PlayStation Plus game for this month. PS Plus game for this month. And it's PS5 exclusive
Garbage.
game. Although it's a battle royale kind of. There's like sort of magic hack and slash type thing. But so I played the online of this, and so when you run around, get your chests and stuff, that's fine. You come across like demons and like generic soldier guys to fight and stuff, and those are fine. I can deal with those, no problem. Second, I come up against a human player, bang, 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 dead. And then like that's the game over, and then you start again because it's battle royale and you're eliminated. And that was just no fun for me whatsoever. Like I get like okay, maybe these people are like better at the game than me or whatever, but like, it's only been out a couple of weeks, and I just didn't seem to have a way to combat these people. And like I tried to block and I tried to attack, and I didn't get a single hit on these people that attacked me. So yes, this game is absolutely not for me, and it's already deleted now. Yeah, I did that, and then I decided to. I tried Tennis World Tour, Ali. Sorry, Tennis World Tour 2. That was also free on PS Plus, and that game's shit. Like honestly, terrible. Like I loved Virtua Tennis back in the day. 1, 2, 3, and World Tour was decent as well. Loved those. And I played a decent amount of Mario Tennis, and it was fun enough. This game is crap. It's nonsense. Like it's just too slow. It's not arcade enough at all for me. They've tried to go too sim with it. Didn't like that. I want an arcade tennis game if I'm playing a tennis game. Have you played this one?
Right, I like both. Right, we'll talk about simulation and arcade when I talk about my games. But in tennis, I really do like. I did like Topspin, which was more simulation. However, Virtua Tennis was the king. Virtua Tennis then became Sega Tennis, which was Sega Sonic. Fine. Virtua Tennis World 2 was garbage, but it still had the good mechanics. Just to add to what you're saying.
Yeah.
Virtua Tennis 2 was king.
I liked it on Vita.
You can like it, but
I thought
it was garbage. But like, it's to do with your player customization and the way that it was a random board rather than being able to choose. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, Tennis World Tour I played on my well worthwhile PS Now subscription. It sucks. It's absolutely terrible, and it came out the same year
Yeah.
as there was another game that came out when the first one came out of Tennis World Tour.
Oh, AO tennis was it
Yeah,
something like
and those guys
that?
bought Tennis World Tour. They bought the
Yeah. Right.
guys that made it, so they now turned it into Tennis World Tour 2 instead of doing AO Tennis.
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's an amalgamation of them both. So they've got slightly more licenses, but they still don't have them all. But you don't need all the tennis licenses. Call it London Tennis Court, make it look like Wimbledon. It's fucking horrible to play. Like Mario Tennis is far better because it's more similar to like Sega Tennis, because Sega Tennis was
Yeah.
even more arcadey than Virtua Tennis. Mario Tennis is the
Yeah.
best. The best current tennis game that you can play is Mario Tennis, without the power
Yeah, I
ups.
would agree. I would agree with that. The other thing is like I wanted to play as Andy Murray. I'm like, oh yeah,
Not there.
like it's got official players. Cool. Like it's got Federer and Nadal. Like those are the default guys. Like
It doesn't
like
have
to choose
Federer.
when you're starting up. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm sure I had Federer.
No, it's got
I had
Nadal.
Nadal anyway. Nadal and someone else. I don't follow tennis that closely, but like I'm sure it had Federer. Maybe not. Definitely had Nadal, and then I was like, oh, if it's got Nadal, it's probably got Andy Murray in it. So I went around and looked for him. Couldn't find him for ages. Then found him. He is in the game. He's locked. It's like,
All right.
oh, so I don't know if he's DLC you have to buy or if you have to unlock him in some way. So I'm like, no, thank you. I don't want to do anything to have to unlock people. So yeah, I played a couple of games of that and then moved
Oh,
on.
I'll give you
I'm-
this. Federer is in it.
Yeah, I could have
They
sworn
must have
it was in
added
there.
him to it since I last played.
Yeah. But yeah, I would avoid that one and not bother because I was like thinking like, oh, this could be fun to play
It's
like a
not.
couple of games up here and there, like I used to do with virtual tennis. It's absolutely not. Don't bother. I would go as far to say as the tennis in the Olympic game is probably more fun than the tennis in this. So play that instead. And it's more like fucking Wii tennis than this, but it's much more fun. Then I went and I got 4 platinums in one day, Ali.
You're such a tramp. What shit did you play?
So I played a game called Legends of Talia Arcadia, right? And this is a Japanese visual novel type game. And do you know how long this game took me to platinum? No, I didn't hear you.
I'm muted because I'm eating Chris. 10,
Okay.
15 minutes.
No. 32 seconds. 32 seconds for a platinum.
Can I ask how much was the game?
It was like £1.29 or something
Okay, I'll
like
give you that.
that. £1.29. And I saw it from a video that Greg Miller posted on Twitter of him platinuming
done
this
it
game.
I've done it before. I'm
Doing
not a
remote
trophy
play?
hunter, as you know. There was one he did, and he literally pushed play in the background. It went ting, and he went, "What's that noise?" He went, "Oh, I'm that good. I got a platinum as we're talking." And it was literally a Japanese again virtual novel.
Yeah.
You push play, and you choose the option to skip, to auto move on the dialogue.
Play the dialogue.
And you just
yeah,
leave
yeah.
it. That's what he did, and then he said, "I'll delete it from my system and never use it again." I bought it for like £2, and I went, "I don't even care about trophies. I don't know why I just did that." But Andy loves trophies, so please continue.
So I did that. I have no idea what the game was about or anything like that. They had some. There was no involvement in the game though, so I would struggle to call this one a game. The visual novels that you criticize me for playing, that you say are not games, this one I'll give you, not a game. This is just a book that you press play on and read. But the ones that I play normally, like they have dialogue options and stuff, and branching paths and things,
Okay.
and puzzles.
So answer me this.
Yes.
Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Right.
It's a book.
Okay. You've just clarified it, so it's not a game.
Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps books are books. Yes.
They're books. Gives you dialogue options though, or what to say next, or choices, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
It does, yeah. Okay.
It's kind of a book game.
Look at this cat. She's just climbed up the chair. What the fuck are you doing? Are you stuck? It just climbed up the side of the chair. Did you miss me? Were you just
But
saying
yeah,
that Andy's games aren't games? Tell him.
this game 100% was not a game.
How the
So
fuck
do
did
you know
you
what I
do?
did?
That's the wee
Do you know
cat
what
as well. Just climbed up the
Yeah.
side of my chair. Like, so yeah. So sorry. No, we're not losing that point. So you said that I can't criticize you for visual novels that have dialogue choices because they're games, right? But
Because
you
they
have
have dialogue
no,
choices
no.
and
Let me
puzzles and puzzles
let me
and
finish.
puzzles.
Let me finish. Not all of
Yeah,
them,
puzzles.
but let me finish. So the Goosebumps books, which have kind of puzzles because you have to figure things out, right? So a puzzle is the definition of a puzzle is you have to figure it out to solve the puzzle. Yeah, right.
Sure.
It is. Roll with it. So in Goosebump games, you have to figure some type Goosebump games. See, there's me calling the books games. So in the books, you have to figure out the puzzle to get the right choice at the end. Like turn to page 45 if you think X. Turn to page 46 if you think X. So would
Okay.
you categorize choose your own adventure?
No, they're not video games.
No. But
There's a video involved.
are your choose your own adventure video
Video
games? Are they video game books?
Yes, but they're still video games.
Yes, you said yes. Video game book.
For-
So
for-
you have been getting
some of them.
trophies
But-
and platinums and bragging about it from a fucking book.
This one,
I'm sorry, but I will say,
I'm not
Your Honour.
bragging about it.
Can I just say, Your Honour? For the past 9 years, I rest my case.
I don't have that many.
This is the point in the
I've
movie
only got-
where the guy goes, "We got this, son of a bitch," and they'll high five and it freeze frames.
I don't have that many of these. I'm only like, how many platinums am I at now?
How many real ones that aren't from bullshit?
Well, I mean, I've played all of them and enjoyed to some extent all of them. I'm at 90 platinums now. 90.
No one cares, or no one's putting it on your tombstone. So, at the end of the day, we're halfway through our lives. Stay in Scotland.
I think you'll find that I already. To be honest, someone's already probably got one. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah.
the idea of it, but it probably will.
Hi,
but yeah,
I'm Billy here. If you want to see my skeleton, open the box. That would be me.
So that was a PS4 game, Legends of Talia Arcadia. So do you know what I
The
did
stream keeps
immediately after?
disconnecting, by the way.
Oh, weird. Yeah, you cut off a couple of times for me, but don't know what happened. So do you know what I did immediately after I platinumed that game?
I don't. Read the book.
I platinumed it again. It's there.
Right.
I immediately went and platinumed the game again on the PS5 because it had two versions and it was cross-buy for like £1.20. So in 1 minute I got 2 platinums. That was funny.
Okay.
Okay, I then bought a game called Spectre Woods, which
I'm
cost
going to
me
watch this because this is bullshit talk.
20 pence, Ali. 20 pence. You should buy this game because this is the worst video game I've ever played. The worst. It is like it's a 3D world where you play as a 2D character who's like a pink lady with a white dress on that has a red gun, and you have to follow yellow flowers that pop up in front of you, but don't always pop up and sometimes glitch, and then you have to shoot ghosts that appear and they shoot yellow balls at you. They're 2D ghosts. Now the game for some reason is like in a square inside the TV. So like rather than filling up the whole screen like any other game does, it like does that kind of thing, like, you know, when a retro game does it and it's got like a box around it and then it's got like a sort of frame, does that. But there's no frame to this game. It's just there's a little box in the middle of the screen and then it's just black on the around and the outside. Starburst, nice. But I did platinum this game in 5 minutes. I don't like it. Opal fruits, what the fuck? Those are out of date, mate. Those are out of date. Do not eat those. Have they brought them back? Have they brought back opal fruits? I'm confused. What has happened? I can't hear you. You've muted.
The pound shop in Ayr had them, and they taste different. They don't taste like Starburst.
Okay, maybe it's like a special edition or like a limited edition thing or something. Cool. But yeah, that game's the worst game I've ever played. Oh my god.
No one,
Please try
said
the
Spa?
filter.
no one spoke to
He
Echo.
said- He said Spa. Jesus. Yeah, that game Spectre Woods, the worst game I've ever played, but it was only 20 pence, and there was a platinum in 5 minutes. So, yeah, I put myself through that. And then I remembered about a game that I actually thought I'd platinumed, called Chickens on the Road. And I could have sworn I'd platinumed this already. And when I played it, I'm like, I've fucking played this already. And I think what it was is I must have tested it on a console at work or something at some point. Because I've definitely played this game before, because you could platinum it in like 5 minutes. And you just have to run over chickens on a road. It's made by the same people. You know that game Road Bustle that you played?
Yeah.
It's made by the same people that made that game, but it's not glitched, so that you, like, you know, if you just ran at the side, you could get the platinum on that one. This one's not glitched, so you actually have to do the thing that you need to do to get the platinum, but it's still very easy. You just have to run over some chickens, and it takes like 5 minutes to platinum. It's very easy. It's not a good game. You're driving a truck along the road. There's other trucks coming at you, they're going the other way, and there are chickens running away from you. And you have to run over the normal-looking chickens and not run over green chickens. That's it. That's all the game is. And once you hit a certain point total, then you get the platinum trophy. And that's it. That's all the game is. There's one level. There's only one map. Like, it looks terrible. But yeah, so I platinumed those 4 games in like basically one day. And yeah, I didn't play anything else. That's it.
Cool. Do we have any more news stories?
I don't know. I don't know if there's any news that we want to talk about. Let me have a look. Playdate sold out. I think we spoke about that, did we not?
Don't think so.
Maybe we didn't. Yeah, Playdate sold out in 20 minutes.
That's unreal for what it is. And they didn't even have us. They're a small amount, but they sold basically what, 1,000 every minute.
That's good.
Because they had 20,000 for the initial wave. 1,000 a minute for Playdate. That's huge for them, man. That's really good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
The good thing I think with that is that because it's sold out so quickly, they're going to be able to get more investors
Oh,
off
yeah,
of
yeah.
that and be like, look, we need to up the production here, but we need more investment to be able to do this. Invest in it, we'll give you whatever shares or whatnot of the company, and there you go, and we'll be able to up our production line and make more of these because we'll sell them. Because if you can sell it out in 20 minutes, 20,000 in 20 minutes, that's a hell of a lot. And I guarantee there's more than 20,000 people in the world that are interested in this. Probably a million people would be interested in buying this, which is still a small corner of the gaming market overall. Ah, cool, nice. They even looks like yeah, the old style. That's cool. But yeah, so there's definitely a good and much bigger market for this. Like, you could probably sell 1 million of these, give or take. But they just need the production to be able to do it. So we'll see what happens with that. And I really want to buy one, but just it's like, what, was it 200 quid or something like that?
yeah, it was a bit too expensive, and we always said if what was it I said in the stream? If they don't announce the Switch Pro, which we were calling it at the time,
Yeah.
then I'll buy it. And unfortunately, the OLED's coming, and as a handheld Switch player, sorry.
Yeah. Like, what interests me the most about Playdate is making your own game in it, and like that sounds really exciting to me, because it looks doable, but I don't want to spend £200 to just have a play around with something. Like, again, it's that whole way of, like, for me, exactly same as the Amico. If it's £100 to £150, okay, yeah, I'm taking a gamble with that, but £200 is too much to gamble with at the moment, and I think we're both in the same sort of position. Maybe if we were earning a shitload more money or something, or we got like some crazy bonus or something like that, like out the blue, then we'd be like, oh cool, yeah, we'll just fucking buy it. But
At the moment,
like
no.
at this point, no, I need to buy a new PC. I need to build a new PC. Is what I need to do. But yeah, the 20 minutes sold out. Cool as fuck. I can't wait to see what people think of this when they actually get hands on with it. I think the reason why it sold out so quickly as well is because it's something completely different that's never been done before. It's totally against the grain for what you would expect from a gaming machine. Because even like the Amico, like we can see it's kind of like a Wii. It's kind of like an upscaled Wii for 2021, and I've crossed with like an Atari. That makes sense totally. And even the like different controls and stuff like that, not that innovative. But like this one, you're like, it's a Game Boy with a crank. No one's ever thought of putting a crank handle on a fucking game thing before, like apart from Sega Bass Fishing. Like that's the only one. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I can't wait to see what they do with this and what people think of it when it comes out.
Sorry. Trying to be polite and not eat on camera because Fraser always listens and moans about the ASMR. So, talking of handheld, Andy. Switch console sales. Switch motherfucking console sales, and this is pre-OLED, or maybe including OLED, I'm not sure how they count the figures. 89 motherfucking million. It's now outsold the PS, Andy, it's now outsold both the PS3 and the 360. What the fuck? And it's faced a year-on-year slump every year since it's came out, which means it's been slightly less sales. It's only, and I say only, 11 million behind the Wii right now, Andy. The Wii's up there for one of the best selling of all time behind Game Boy and stuff.
Yeah, it's going to outsell the Wii. 100%.
It's going to outsell the Wii. The DS is the best selling console, I believe, of all time at 154 million. Analysts are predicting it's going to beat that in the next 3 years.
I don't think that's true.
The
I'm
DS,
pretty sure,
the DS family has sold 154 million. PS2's maybe sold more. Don't have those figures here. Can you look that up?
I will look that for you. Yes.
But still, regardless, like PS2.
Yes, PS2 is 155 million. DS is 154 million.
Right, so
we'll get to that.
Analysts are saying that it's on track. If it stays in the same family for the next 3 years, then it's on track to beat both those. I'll say it right now. Switch is going to be the best selling console of all time. I'll say it now.
Okay.
Not forever,
Okay.
not forever.
Prediction.
But I think it's
No.
going to beat both the DS and the PS2. I definitely do. Because, do you know why, Andy? It's two words. Two words that haven't been said in the Switch's life cycle ever. Price cut. See when the sales dip so much, they will price cut that so they can back up.
Yeah, you're probably right.
They will.
Yeah, I think this is going to go for a good bit longer. And the Switch is at 89 million, the Wii's at 101, PS1 is at 102 million. So it'll 100% catch both of those, which is nuts that it'll beat the PS1. And then PS4's at 116 million. That's achievable.
It will beat the PS4.
PS4, like within 2 years, that's going to die off completely. As the PS5 becomes available.
Yeah.
And then your Game Boy 118 million. That's quite doable as well. And then it's only really your DS and then your PS2 that's like up above that.
But that's what I
which
mean.
are way
See,
above that, so.
give it 2 years, we're gonna have another division. The OLED Plus.
I think it's gonna get to third because basically it would have to sell double what it's sold now to beat those, and I don't think it can.
Not double because it's not double what it sold just now. Not double at all because then
much it's
is it 90? It's just under 90 million. 90 million.
It needs to sell another
Half of what it's done.
66 million.
I guarantee you it does it. Within 5 years it will do that. And you've got to remember, this is the Switch family. See if they do a Switch Pro, Andy, that's included.
Yep. Of course, yeah, but 60 odd million, I don't think it's going to do it.
I do. We'll see. We'll tune back in 5 years' time.
I think if it does manage to overtake PS4 and Game Boy, that's insane. Absolutely insane. Like that's incredible results for Nintendo. Like because like I say, it's going to beat Wii and it's going to beat PS1. But if it can beat PS4 and Game Boy, oh my god.
I'm 2 months away from buying my third Switch, just for me, without the kids. Right? Like say a year, she's gonna have a Switch Lite. You've got 2.
We do have 2 in the house, yeah.
It's doable.
But we'll see. It
Price
is
cut,
definitely
mate.
doable.
Price cut. Give it 2 years of
I
sales.
think, yeah, if you like, once you can get the base model down to like, in fact, even the light down to like
100.
70, 80 pound,
Yeah.
it can go to 100 like that anytime basically. Like they can
But
easily be
this
making
is what I
that
mean.
for under 100 now.
They're confident that it will still sell at its price point, and it is. So they have
Yeah.
had no need to price cut any Switch, and I'm not talking about
Nope.
retailers' individual sales. Nintendo have never cut
Yeah.
the price of the Switch, not once.
Nope.
See, by this point, in every console above its life cycle, Andy, they'd cut the price.
Yeah, PS4 had a cut, Xbox One had a cut, yeah, PS3, yeah, I don't know about 360, but
It
sure.
did. It did,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I think that. We had definitely had at least a one price cut by then.
Oh, yes. The Wii had quite a price cut quite quick. Because the thought back then was, we've sold a load, let's make it sell even more. But now they're like,
Yeah.
three, nearly 4 years in, we're not budging on Switch price,
Yeah.
fuckers. In fact,
No.
we're going to add £50 to the price and sell you a new screen. Which is what they've
Uh,
done and what we're buying.
The funny thing as well is like PS5's coming up as well. It's at 10 million units already. Even though it's really difficult
But they're
to
all,
get one still,
they're all
so
sitting in warehouses just now in scalpers back or scalpers garages.
that's gonna skyrocket over the next 2-3 years. Like that'll be up at 40 million like by the end of next year. Easy.
Not denying the PS5, but the Switch is going to sell like fuck.
Switch is gonna sell like fuck, yeah, and it's just continue selling. So yeah,
So
it's good.
alongside the news, even though the South Park guys, is it Matt Parker and Trey Stone or Trey Parker and Matt Stone? Can never remember. They said that they were going to quit, and I know Ross said they aren't, but they did. They've signed on for like 8 new 14 movies and 8 new seasons of South Park. 14 movies. 14, Andy.
Sure.
Right, but they've
Why not?
also signed up for a new South Park 3D game this time in the works, which says to
Okay.
me it's not going to be like Stick of Truth and the other one that came out that I never finished.
The fractured butthole.
Fractured Butthole I never went back to. It's not because it's bad.
You finished Stick of Truth.
I did finish Stick of Truth on PC as well. So basically, this is not going to be made by Ubisoft by the sounds of the wording. So I don't know who's going to make it. And the last time a 3D South Park... Don't get me wrong, South Park games have always been good, including the Game Boy Color one. Like South Park Rally in the 64 was good. South Park, the kind of first-person shooter where you could pee in the snowballs. And
Yeah, throw a snowball. Yeah, it was fun.
I'm fine for this. But the thing that's questioning me is that 14 movies. 14 movies. Four, not just a couple, but 4. That's like the MCU. Anyway, South Park new game coming. Next news story I wanted to talk about was the Ascent players are raising concerns over the game's text size. I said this last week. Even the biggest text size is hard to read, so it wasn't just me. And there's apparently other accessibility issues that, fortunately, I don't suffer, but people are complaining. About
I always complain about the text size in
every
fucking
game.
games.
Every game.
Like every game, it's always too small. It's because
So
I
this-
sit quite far away from my TV and
No,
I'm
but-
short-sighted, so I should wear glasses when I'm playing, but I don't.
Andy, this is the first one I've ever complained about. So you'll be like, there's
Yeah, it must
text.
be tiny, man.
Here's one for you. You're gonna love this. Do you remember your favourite game on Switch, Andy, called Calculator?
Oh my god, yeah, game of the year, fucking brilliant.
It has been outdone, Andy, by Battle Calculator, a new competitive multiplayer online game.
Battle Calculator. How the fuck does that work?
I'll carry Andy. Thanks for asking. You just hold your horses. So, Calculator was the £8 app that let you put your real calculator, computer or mobile phone aside to do sums in your game's console. Introducing Battle Calculator, a new game that has you using your calculation skills to do battle with your friends in a format similar to the numbers round in the popular British game show Countdown. A randomly generated number is provided on screen, Andy, and players must use a combination of numbers from 0 to 9 in conjunction with the add, minus, multiply, and divide functions to make that specific number.
So,
Are you in?
but no, but like in Countdown, they give you random numbers,
Yep.
to make the
This
numbers
is-
with.
Yep.
But in this, you just have the full calculator. Yeah.
It seems so. So you can just. So what I would, do you know what I would do every time? Say it was like
Just the
6,000
whatever the number is,
minus
times
one.
one.
Yep.
That's funny. Like, oh my god. Yeah, no. Like,
Why?
and if it, maybe they do only let you have access to certain keys on it or something. I don't know. Like,
Anyway, Andy.
countdown is fun because it's got that 30-second timer.
You've not listened to the
Like,
whole
that's the only thing
description.
that's fun about it.
Wait do
Oh
you?
my god, there's more.
The game can also be used as an ordinary calculator, which, when coupled
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the battle element, essentially gives it one up over the original calculator app. We never expected
Right.
to see such a fierce rivalry in the Switch calculator category, yet here we are. Battle Calculator is out today on Switch eShop and costs $14.99. Will you be
What
downloading
the
it?
fuck? 14? Fuck off. No.
But you didn't
No,
hear the
absolutely
You obviously didn't listen to the battle mode.
It's countdown number game. they,
But not.
they didn't even
countdown.
make. See if you had like actual battle calculator, like in,
Yes.
I don't know, you had to type different numbers in that correlated to different things. So like think of Scribblenauts, but instead of writing something, you had to like make a sum, and that gave you some random thing, right? From a database of like a million things, and it went along the calculator screen. It went, it fought a horse, or it fought a dragon, or whatever. Like that could be kind
Like
of
a
entertaining.
typing game.
Yeah, kind of like that, but just the number game from Countdown for 15 quid. Fuck off.
No, not quite. $14.99. And you can use it as an ordinary calculator. Think how handy that is, Andy. You're playing, you're sitting, enjoying yourself, and somebody goes, "What is 20 divided by 7?" And you're like, "Huh, hold on, my phone's out of battery, but my Switch is here." Then you've just saved the day, Andy.
But I also have a calculator on my computer.
It's not
I've
with
gone
you.
on my
If you're out and
laptop.
about, it's not with you.
I also have. Do you know what I also have? My fucking mind.
Yeah, but you don't have battle calculator in your mind, Andy. You don't have battle calculator in your mind.
I
So
don't have
anyway,
battle calculator in mind. But do you know what I have on my phone? YouTube with access to as many episodes of Countdown as I could ever want.
your phone's
Which is
dead.
0.
In this situation, your phone's dead.
Well, I would look on my laptop.
Your
or
laptop's
on
not with you?
My computer.
Your computer's not
Or go
portable.
on my PS4.
PS4's
or-
not portable. You're thinking about
It's
portability.
YouTube's on Twitch. YouTube's on Switch. So it's fine. Just watch Countdown on Switch.
But you can't play
Oh,
it.
Don't buy this.
I know you like visual novels,
You
but you can't
can't.
play it.
You 100% can play it because you can write it down. You can write down your sums.
No pen. You don't have a pen.
I know. No pen allowed.
Anyway, next news story since Andy's so excited about that game. World War Z Aftermath rises on PS4 in September with PS5 enhancements. World War Z Aftermath, the expanded re-release of Saber Interactive's co-op
Don't-
time.
No one cares. No one cares.
Will
We
Chomp,
don't care about this.
not now
Will
that
you
there's
play this?
battle. Let me read the news story. Will Chomp at PlayStation 4 from the 21st of September. Basically now it will run in 4K at 60 FPS on PS5 through backwards compatibility. With a free, Andy, this is the main point, free PS4 to PS5 upgrade.
Yeah, I
Free.
mean, they should all be or £10.
Yeah, but this is
That's
free,
it.
it's not £10.
Free is great. Also, speaking of like upgrades, Hellblade came out. Upgrade on Xbox Series X and S.
Oh, that was a
free
random
upgrade
drop.
there as well.
That was a random drop.
It was the anniversary of Hellblade. I think it was today or yesterday. So that came out. Just out the blue. Hellblade's a great game if you've not played it before. It's on Game Pass, right? And I know you didn't like it, but I fucking loved it. Play with headphones.
That's what it says at the start. So anyway, what have I been playing? Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So, today, EA said, since they now own Codemasters, that they've now added Formula 1 2020, Dirt 4, Dirt Rally 2.0, Grid, and more are now available with Game Pass.
Yeah, I saw those pop up on Game Pass today, and I didn't know
Ignored it,
anything
no.
except
But
for
this,
games.
this guy went, challenge accepted. So, I thought, my racing games are kind of limited to Gran Turismo and Forza. I went, I'm going to expand Need for Speed as a sign up. I tried Grid first of all, Andy. This isn't going to be long, so don't worry, I'm not going to bore you. I'm just going to read exactly what I've written here. I've wrote, with 3 M's. Not really for me. Boring, and physics were a bit stiff. So that's grid out the window.
Get to fuck.
Get to fuck grid. V-Rally 4, Andy, which I think was a gold game.
V-Rally 4.
V-Rally 4, the latest in the V-Rally series.
Like, I always thought of V-Rally as being like Virtua Rally, right? Which I always, like, and back in the day, that's what I thought it was. I thought it was by Sega, and it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Because obviously Sega had Sega Rally, and
Yeah,
I
they
thought
did.
of V-Rally as being like the sort of sequel to Sega Rally, and it wasn't.
It wasn't.
And it was not a great game back in the day.
So-
How is it now?
Okay, so here's what I've wrote. I liked it on the PlayStation 1. I liked it on the Game Boy. That was the best one. This one feels
Okay.
too stiff and clunky, and I have nothing else to write about it. Is actually what I've written.
Okay.
Didn't like it. WRC 8. World Rally. I'm guessing that's World Rally Championship 8. So this is the
Yeah,
8th in
yeah.
the series, Sandy. Looks
God.
like shit. Defo not 60 FPS. Too fast feeling for a drift and rally style game. Such a shame. Out you go. Get in the sea. The next one I played, Andy, was Dirt Rally 2.0. This came out like 2 years ago. This is the rally when
Yeah,
kind of this is
newer one,
Colin McRae. You know, Colin McRae rally became
Yep.
Dirt, became
Yep.
Colin McRae. In the main menu, I selected. I was hyped. I was excited to play our Scottish hero who sadly died in a helicopter crash. And it took me to the Xbox store to pay another $7.99. It's a fucking main menu option. Colin McRae story mode, DLC.
Yeah.
So I went, no, Andy. I said no. I said
that reminds me of fucking Kingdom of Amalur, where you get that quest and it's like, oh, you want to do this quest? Cool, like, give me money.
here's all the details of the quest. $3.99. Almost like that, but a main menu option. Colin McRae story
Yeah,
mode.
that's
Yep. Fuck that.
Yep.
However, I did say good cars and fast feeling. However, you can break the car, and I did. And I hate games like that. It's like it said critical error in car. I was like, alright. So it's just my race is now over. My race is
Yeah.
over.
critical error in car. I like that.
Critical error in car. So then I played Project Cars 2, Andy, and I think I tried that a
Oh
wee
my
bit.
god.
So I said way with 5 A's and 2 Y's. Way too simulation based for me. No thanks. That's my review of
Yeah.
Project
It's-
Cars.
Way too serious. Yeah.
Get away. Get in the sea.
Cool.
So
I
then,
like these car reviews. This is good. This is what all car game reviews should be like.
so then I decided this is what I mean. I played them all. I'm like, then I played Burnout Paradise Remastered, right? And I used to like Burnout
That's
2,
good.
2
Yeah.
down. You say good. My review says dated.
Yeah.
The handbrake makes you go 90 degrees, like Need for Speed, instead of being control, and that's all I wrote about it. So basically, what I mean is when you pull the handbrake, instead of slowly making the tail of the car like slide,
But you-
it just goes boom.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to like, and sorry, I'll say Forza Horizon has spoiled me. Like, the physics in that are phenomenal for car racing. You can tap the handbrake or hold the handbrake. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you tap it, your car starts to skid, and you can use your left analog stick to kind of tweak that round the corner. In these games, when you push handbrake and it does that, if you're trying to go around a slight corner, it's no use. So the game wants you to slow down. Why do I want to slow down in a car game? Let me control the drift. Let me control the drift. So
To be like Mario Kart, like you jump and.
imagine Mario Kart drift without the jump, and that's Forza Horizon drift. Like, you tap it and you can
Yeah.
drift, and you can control the drift.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how drift should be in a car, because technically if you know what you're doing, you can control your drift. Because you control the back end of the car with the way you steer, and you use the left analog stick to steer. So all these games, it's no fucking way for me. So
I actually like. I liked Burnout Paradise a lot, but like
It's fine.
I more enjoyed it for the open world exploring of it, like going and smashing all the
Forza
billboards
Horizon.
and like exploring the routes. I don't know, I just found it more fun than being
Exactly
in a more
like
slightly
Forza
confined
Horizon.
environment. No, but
exactly
they had
like
the hidden
Forza
paths
Horizon.
and stuff you could go on.
Exactly like Forza Horizon, but you've never played it properly, so you wouldn't know.
No, I played Forza Horizon. I drove to Edinburgh. There was
Yeah,
no,
that was it.
there were no hidden paths.
There is hidden
There was
paths.
just a road. There
There
was
is
fields.
There is hidden
Cows
paths.
and
Yeah,
trees.
but there is hidden paths. So anyway, I'm playing Forza Horizon 4, exploring, like, loving the road discovery part, which I loved in Forza Horizon 3, as you'll know from many months of thinking. So I'm over 500 now, Andy, and there's 531 in the game.
Jesus. Mm.
It's so much fun. Like, and then finding the secret boards, and I've barely played a race in this. I like the showcase races where it will give you, like, I don't know if this was the actual car, but say like a Ford Mustang or a Shelby, a Shelby GT, sorry, and you have to race the Flying Scotsman train. So you have to race it and beat it, or
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
like those the races like that. I really enjoy. I occasionally enjoy a street race. Don't get me wrong, I still like the racing, but see these sort of like 20 laps. I'm like, no, no,
No.
no, no. So
Do you remember there was one race? I think it was in Gran Turismo where it was like a 24-hour
12 hour.
race.
Yep, there is, yeah.
And obviously it wasn't quite 24 hours,
It
but
was
like,
long.
It was hundreds of laps, and it took like
Yep.
10 hours to do it.
You get
No.
those, and I think you're right. It's either 24 or 12-hour Ironman style challenges.
Yeah.
So then I played Forza 7. This wasn't tonight, but I played Forza 6 because I've been playing through car games recently because I wanted to expand because I like car games, but it turns out Forza Horizon just got it right. Forza 7, that I've never really played, Andy. I reinstalled that game, big ass game as it is, looks nice. It's soulless. It is absolutely fucking soulless. Like, Forza 6, I loved. Me and Majika were competing, we were doing things, but it felt more inviting. Gran Turismo Sport got heavily panned, but it has the I'll try it one more time element to it that Gran Turismo has always had, right? Forza 7 has none of this. And they've, to be fair, like, I'm glad they've took time off to rebrand the Forza Motorsport games, you know, the new one that's coming, because
Yeah.
6 was good, but 7 just kind of became soulless. It was ticking boxes rather than making you enticed to come back. But then Gran Turismo, like you pointed out, you've got licenses, you've got gold medals. It's like, yeah, you've passed, but see if you'd done it a second quicker, you'd get a gold
Yeah,
medal.
you got gold.
And
Yeah.
you're like, I'm not moving on till I fucking get this gold medal, and that's what's happening in Gran Turismo Sport, and it looks nice, it plays nice. But Forza 7, it just didn't click with me, Andy, and I went, farewell, old friend. You can get to fuck. Horizon's the main Forza game for me just now. Horizon, it started as the side game, the spin-off, if you will, and then once Forza Horizon 3 came and it was open world, it was like, holy fuck. You've done it. You've made the perfect racing game because you've got the spot on arcade controls. There's no simulation here, but it's not arcade where you're going to turn like that, where you do a handbrake. I can drift from my house in the Highlands of Scotland to Edinburgh like that fucking scene in Tokyo Drift where they're perfectly drifting around corners in a mountain. And I'm not great at the game. I'm okay at the game, but because the car's tuned and I've installed the right parts, the handling of these games are fucking impeccable, man. Like, it's so good, and it just annoys me when it comes to Forza 7 and I pull a handbrake turn and the car starts spinning round. It's like, I was in control of it though. I get that you're going for simulation, but see, if I'm tapping the handbrake lightly, I'm not holding it down to make the car do that, then that is not the correct physics of that car. You know what I mean? Like, you can tap your handbrake slightly and it will skid the back wheels if you turn into it. And I know this is a driver and so do you. I can't now because I've got to pull up fucking e-brake. But like, you can do that in a car. So see, if I'm driving a track and I've got a handbrake in my car and I tap it lightly, I can send the back end away and turn into the corner and keep going. If anytime I tap the handbrake, you're making my car spin out, it just means that you don't want me to do it, rather than that being the physics. And I'm sorry, if you're going for simulation, do the right fucking physics. That's my opinion.
To be fair, I've never ever put the handbrake on my car when I've been going at any speed. Like, I've only done it when I've been either stopped or like one time my brakes broke, and I wasn't going fast when they stopped working. So like, you could control the speed by doing the handbrake on and off a little bit, but I wasn't going at any speed to be like drifting around corners or anything like that. So
take away our real life experiences. You've seen people drifting. It is a fucking physical thing you can do.
I've never seen anyone do it in real life.
It happens though. You might not have, but you're from East Kilbride and I'm from Ayr, but it can fucking happen, right? It's possible. The stunt in Fast and the Furious 3, where the guy drifted up the car park, It was done by a
Yeah, yeah,
stuntman
yeah.
who was a drift champion, so it is possible to do. So if
I have steered out of skids before, like in snow and things.
yeah, I did it in my driving test. Remember with the red weather warning day 3-4 years ago when I went and
Oh
passed it?
yeah.
Yep, I passed it. And it was at
Yeah.
Moncton at the chicane in the middle of the fucking street
Yeah.
where the two bollards are. My car went, ooh, and I
Yeah.
steered back in. So it's possible to control your car when it skids. It doesn't
Yep.
mean pull the handbrake and your car goes in a fucking loop
Yeah.
sort of. So anyway, yes, that's why I gave up on that. In Gran Turismo, the slowdown is more accessible. I just feel slowing down in car games is fucking defeating the purpose of driving. Because the whole point of having a racing game is to fucking go faster than you would in real life. So see this slowing
I
down bullshit.
always, when I played Gran Turismo on PS1, like the first one,
Yeah.
I always used to just use the other cars to slow me down. Like, so
Turn the corner and bash into them.
Yeah, and like I would go round and they would all be knocked out.
So anyway,
Works for the first corner. But after that, you're fucked because you're out in the lead.
I'll finish up on this last one, Andy. I did play one final racing game.
Was it F1?
No, I barely class that as a racing game.
Dirt 5? Did you play Dirt 5? Oh my god. Dirt 5 is finally on the show. We
Dirt
talked
5
about
is
so
finally
much Dirt
featured on the show. Andy,
Who's Dirt 5?
I've got 4 things written about it.
Okay.
Great, fun, looks good, and as close as you'll get to Forza Horizon without being Forza Horizon, I had a fucking blast.
Next.
We mocked this game on the show. We laughed
Why
and
did we
trolled.
mock? I can't remember.
Do you know what this
Can't
game
remember.
reminds me of? Do you remember the MotorStorm games? MotorStorm on the
Yeah.
PlayStation? That's what this is. And do you know
Okay.
why? Because it's made by that fucking team.
Ah, okay.
Is
Makes sense.
fun. You can slide round corners. You can handbrake and slide round corners. It's fast. Like it's not open world. I think I can't remember. I played this last week. It just was
I
fun.
don't
Like
think
the physics were fun, man. Like you would enjoy it if you like Forza Horizon. Anyway, I know you don't really like racing games, but it's as enjoyable as Forza Horizon. So see, out of all the games, the one that I made a fool of most is the best one on the most recent games because so the way Dirt works now is Dirt was kind of like the spin-off to Colin McRae Rally because it was Colin McRae Dirt and it was a wee bit, it was more like
Yeah.
Forza Horizon, it was a wee bit more arcadey because the one that I talked about earlier, Dirt Rally 2.0, that's kind of your main series, if you know what I mean, the more simulation based one, which was okay. These are the ones that have came from Codemasters, obviously these are the,
Yeah.
they started as Colin McRae, then the license went as he died, which I always found was weird that they didn't keep the license going. Like, look at Tom Clancy, you know, look at Nike, or now Adidas, I believe, with Kobe Bryant, who only died this year. You know, like, it's weird that they never kept the Colin McRae license, unless his family just went, we don't want his fucking name used, end of story, which I don't understand, because that's obviously, the fans love it. Like, his name's in Dirt. Like, you can play the Colin McRae story mode if you pay fucking extra, so...
Yeah.
They're still licensing his name, so why would they not just license his name to the main game? So, like I said, it was Colin McRae Rally and Colin McRae Dirt. Those were the two games, and then now it's became Dirt Rally and just Dirt.
And Dirt.
Dirt.
Right.
So Dirt.
What's the difference though between
So
Dirt and Dirt Rally? Because they're both rally games, aren't they?
Yes, correct. So Dirt Rally 2 is the most recent one, which is only a couple of years old, and Dirt 5 came out last year. So Dirt Rally is basically your Forza 7, Forza Motorsport version, where it's more simulation, and
Rally, okay.
and Dirt itself is more arcadey physics like Forza Horizon. Do you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
Caters for both markets. I didn't enjoy Dirt Rally 2.0 as much as I did Dirt 5, which is weird.
Okay.
That is like Dirt 5 seems like it's the main one, but it's not. It's kind of the spin-off one.
Yeah, that is weird.
But again, like if you fire up Dirt 2.0, which came out 2019, 2018, round about then, it's the one that it's got home, whatever, and then Colin McRae story mode, and you go to I'm like Colin McRae story mode, of course, and it's got like, it's kind of greyed out his picture, and it's like Xbox Store, and I'm like, okay, is this just an extra download? And it was like, no, $7.99. I'm like, no, not gonna be doing that. And it's a shame. It's like, why would you not include that? Like, because It's the same guys that made the Colin McRae games on the PlayStation for years. But yes, so out of all the games I played, the only one that I'll ever go back to is Dirt 5.
Nice. I take it you deleted all the other ones.
I have not yet because I only rounded these up just before we came on the show, Andy, believe it or not. But yes, I will be clearing out this. But remember, I've got my expansion card, so I'm not in as desperate need of space as some Xbox Series X or S owners, because, well, S more so, but X owners don't have a lot of space either. More than PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
But yes, anyway, that was my roundup this week. The problem is, mostly like Tasha's been out helping Rachel paint the house, which is one of her friends, my son's godmother, and I've not been able to play much because Lexi plays her dad like a fiddle. Dad, can I stay up extra? Yep. What do you want to watch? And she always knows. She cuddles up to me. She goes, Daddy, can I play racing? And I'm like, okay, daughter of mine, there you go. And then I put her in the coolest cars, like the Evolution Lancers. I put her in the Skylines. No, Daddy, can I drive Mummy's car? She always calls it Mummy's car because Mummy always picks it up. You know, the Insignia, our car. And the thing is, I downloaded this car, as you know, to test drive it before I bought it. And she just drives with that. And she does like Forza. I'm like, do you not want to play Mario Kart? And she's like, no. So yesterday she came home from school. And she was driving about with Leo's cars because he's got like cars from the movie Cars. And she's like, I'd never seen this film because obviously I had a daughter first and I had no interest in this. Have you seen Cars?
I've seen Cars loads of times, yeah. How was she at school? School is not back yet.
School here, they continue on. They don't stop school in South Ayrshire. Like, they've got the teachers work during the summer, so they should because they get paid for the full year. But like teachers here,
Okay.
like say,
That's real.
So,
Okay.
so anyway, well, she's only at preschool. Remember, she's only just starting preschool.
Yeah.
Like, she's not at primary 1 till next August. So basically, she said, Daddy, I love the Cars, and I'm like, you don't like. Let's watch Princesses. Like, I'm trying to girl up, but I think it's because Leo's liking Cars now. She's kind of changing, and I was like, okay. And then I heard her going, Luigi number 1, like exactly. I'm like, what did you just say? And she went, Luigi number 1, and I'm like, where did you hear that? And she went, I just know it, Dad. And I'm like, no, you don't, because you never ever asked me to play Mario Kart. Turns out it's a wee new boyfriend at school or whatever is playing Mario Kart. And I'm like, do you want to play Mario Kart? And she's like, no, Daddy, Forza Xbox. And I'm like, that's right. Your boyfriend's a child. Ignore him. he's still messing about with Mario Kart. But it was just so funny when out of nowhere she's pushing about. It's not quite Lightning McQueen because you can't buy him just now. So for whatever fucking reason, Mom got him like a blue one. This thing here. So like, she's pushing that about. And she's going, Luigi number 1. It's not Lightning McQueen. It's like just a car with eyes. And then I said, do you want to play Cars the game? Because I've got it on Xbox either in gold or something. I downloaded it. It's Cars 2, not the new one, Cars 3.
Yeah.
She didn't like it. She's like, no, I just want to drive Mummy's car. It's weird that kid just wants to sit.
To be fair, I will give her that because the Cars 3 games, the Cars 2 game is not that good. I tried it as well when it came to gold.
Not good.
Didn't like it. Betty didn't like it either.
Here's the thing,
She
like,
loves Cars.
it's probably the same, like, I've had Frozen on my telly more than I've had my PlayStation 5, right? I couldn't tell you the story of Frozen apart from the girl runs away and freezes everything. Like Cars, Leo's only just... See, here's the thing, Leo doesn't like the TV as much as Lexi. Sorry, listeners, this is kind of... Call this the bonus round. So, like, Lexi used to sit in her chair and she would watch TV, she'd watch anything. If you put TV on, she'd sit and watch it. See, Leo, you put it on, he's like, nah, I want to break stuff. So he was 2 days ago now.
Happy
Monday.
birthday, Leo!
And he's been opening the cupboard door, like, we've got a dresser for our things. He put his fingers in the top, pulled the door off the hinges, Andy, and I'm not joking, we've had to sellotape it back on. He pulled the fucking cupboard door off. I'm not saying he's the strongest boy in the world, it was like thin wood, but he pulled it fucking off. He's standing there with the door, and I'm like, oh, your sister never did any of this. So we're sitting, and it was his birthday, and Lexi just started going, I want to play Forza on the Xbox. And I'm like, okay, we'll play it. But she actually does like this game, I think, because she's never really seen me playing it. I don't sit and play the computer about her because I don't get the chance to, because she wants to watch stuff. But going back to what I was saying about Frozen, I don't know the story. I'm not just saying that. I know the story of some of their other cartoons, but Frozen's never sunk in. Cars is the fucking same, man. Like, Leo, he won't watch anything in TV, like I was saying, but see the minute he hears vroom, he's like, I need to see this shit. But I've watched it, and I get that the main guy's called Lightning. But I like my racing games, I like my racing films. I'm not a fucking boy racer, I never was. I'm not that into cars. It gets me A to B, but like, I just don't get cars. Like, I don't get that as a Pixar movie. I'm like, I can't follow this because it's not people. Like, I know Toy Story's not people, but I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But apparently it's good reviewed and it's got good things, and I've sat with the entire film on, but my attention must have just went, oh. Just
I always liked Cars, and like I liked it before we ever had Bethany, like because it was out before that.
Was it?
I think so.
How was Bethany?
We had it in 2010, so
Oh no, you're right. It came out 26, 27.
yeah. 2006 was the first one when it came out. So like we had Cars stuff. Like I had a Cars, like Mac, the big truck. So there's a big truck called Mac, and that's like his transport from race to race. It's like a big kind of like flatbed truck, and I had this truck that had.
I've seen his pal with the
inside him.
teeth, the kind of pickup truck. Is that him?
Mater, yeah. No, that's Mater.
So that's not Mac, right? Okay.
It's called Mater. No,
I'll know.
Mac is the truck. He's a truck with a hat. He's got like a trucker hat. The truck wears a trucker hat. Anyway, I had this big toy. It's about that size, and like I had a car, like lightning car that goes inside it. And you had to build it all and everything. It was fun to build, and like I had this before we ever had Bethany, and like obviously when she come along and got old enough, like she had watched the movies, and like as happened with basically all of my like Disney type toys from back then, they got gradually opened and given to her.
Yeah.
That one wasn't because you had to build it, but I think I might still have that somewhere.
Would
I don't know where it is.
Would you not say though that out of all the Pixar movies, Toy Story is the best and will never be beaten? Yes, is the answer you're looking for.
Yeah, Tangled is my favorite Disney movie, but like it's.
I never said Disney.
No, I know it's not Pixar. Yeah, Toy Story. Yeah, it's probably the best one. Maybe not the first one. Maybe the second one. I like
Second one's the best. But do you know who helped make Toy Story 1?
John Lasseter.
No, Steve Jobs after Apple sacked him. Before he went on and did the next computer that got bought by Apple and then ended up him back at Apple, he went and worked at Pixar and he helped ship Toy Story. He was basically Rod Ferguson for Toy Story. So if you look at the credits for Toy Story 1, Steve Jobs is in the credits. He actually helped sell Pixar to Disney, because Pixar wasn't always Disney, believe it or not. I believe even when Toy Story 1 was being made, it wasn't owned by Disney. It was just like published by Disney.
Yeah.
But yeah, Steve Jobs himself did that. But yeah, Cars I just don't get, man. The movie.
I love Cars.
And
Cars
here's one thing. Here's one thing.
Awesome.
There's 3 of them though, right? So see, here's one thing that Disney Plus or whatever it's called, adults might not realise. There's a glitch in the whole thing. So Cars 3 is not available in child profiles.
Oh, that's strange. Why?
No reason, because the actual film's a U or a PG. And there's even 12As. There's like Pirates of the Caribbean on kids' profiles.
Yeah.
It's just a glitch. So when because Leo doesn't give a shit what's in the telly, but he's like, we've seen this one, Daddy. I'm like, I don't know what one is. I went to look for Cars 3. It's not on the kids' profile. It's only on the adult profile. So I had to log back into mine and do Cars 3. And some of the Tiny Toon, not Tiny Toon, the kind of short films.
They're terrible. The Cars ones are awful.
I haven't seen them, but some of them are only in the adult one as well. Do you know what is good though with the short tunes? The Toy Story ones. Some of them are really cool, like Partysaurus Rex. I would advise to anyone just for the cool songs. However, the problem is that Lexi continually wants her Rex in the bathtub, but you know what kids are like with bath toys. It ends up getting like that black horrible mold, and you end up having to just bin the fuckers. So
Yeah.
I wish somebody would create a bath toy that was completely sealed, that was easily wipeable, and it doesn't happen. I know you can
Yeah.
get buckets, but they're not. Kids don't care about buckets in the fucking bath. They want actual toys. So
You get ducks and things like that. I
yeah,
just
but
have an action
the
man.
problem is with the
dinghy
ducks. The problem
floated.
with the ducks, they've got this small bit at the bottom for no reason because they don't squeak anymore
hole.
anyway. But
Yeah.
the water gets in because I've got. Remember, they've got the Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and Robotnik ducks in the bath.
Yeah.
But they're about done. So I need to chuck them as well. And it's like I wish I could buy more. I bought Lexi had a whole zoo. It was like 26 animals, and it was like all wee mini duck style things, and they all had to fucking go because eventually, even if you dry them out, they get that black ring round. We tried doing the whole dishwasher thing, doesn't fucking work. So anyway,
I had an action man boat that I used to play with in the bath when I was young, and it had a motor on the back of it, and you could make it go.
see, Leo's got a boat that's got like a is it, what's it called, the ring? You know, this lifesaver ring thing, the red and white ring that's
It's called a life ring.
a life ring, a life belt, right? So it's in the, and you turn it and the boat goes. But see, the minute it moves, he's like, "What the fuck is this?" He actually sits like that, like, "Get it away from me." He's actually got a truck, like, see that car, like you push it backwards and forwards and that's it. Like the wheels don't do anything. Like
Yeah.
it just does this. That's it. But he's got a truck that you
Yeah.
go like that and it goes boom, so that when you place it, it goes.
Yeah.
See, the minute it does that, he's like, "What the fuck is that?" Like he's so weirded out by the strangest of things. I don't know where this came from. It's definitely not a Disney toy.
Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's an Argos exclusive because it was produced in China for Argos. That's what it says in the bottom. So,
Cool.
that was as close because Leo needs the bigger ones. Like all I can find from Lightning is the wee tiny ones just now. So if anyone watching this, we'll finish up here soon, knows that I can get one this size, which as you can tell is pretty chunky. It's like about that size. I need one of these for Leo just now because the wee ones are just no good. Because Linda, Tasha's mum, bought him them for his birthday, and I'm like, they're too wee for him.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Gonna eat them.
yeah, he will. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. Thank you for listening to Family Chat Game Hour at the end there. Let us know what you thought of Flight Simulator. Let us know what your favourite racing game is, and let us know if Andy is actually an achievement trophy whoer, as we know he is. And are Goosebumps Games books or is Andy's Games books? Let us know below. Subscribe, like, all these YouTube things. Thank you very much if you've made it this far. Leave a comment and tell me how many fingers am I holding up just now. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye.